closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. It's Monday. I'm here with Dave Tuckman, and we got a limit game on here tonight.
No.
8-16 limit hold'em.
Wow.
So it's going to be a fun one. We know it's a lot of big-time favorite for a lot of our loyal viewers.
Without a doubt.
It's a 4-8 chip structured game, which means it's pretty much the most action. There's the most chips on the table.
Yeah.
In a 4-8 games.
A lot of action in this game.
So without further ado, let's get to it.
Let's do that.
And let's going to go around and introduce the table. Probably a lot of new faces.
Yeah, 8-16 limit here. Let's
Yeah.
go. Played with $2 chips. Seat 1, we've got Ferdinand. There he is. And seat 2, we've got Harold. There he is, Harold Berger. Seat 3, we've got Angel Juarez.
Or Anhal. Right?
Anhal?
Right? Is that?
Well, I'll call him Angel.
Okay.
Seat 4, we've got Wenny Sue.
Wendy, okay.
Wenny. I mean, I would have thought it was Wendy, but Wenny works.
Okay.
Seat 5, we've got Nicole.
We always see Nicole
Local
play.
favorite.
A lot of
Seat
Nolan.
5, we've got Mike Porhohori. Seat 6, sorry. Thank you. Mike, seat 5 obviously is Nicole. Seat 7, we've got James Gahahagan. There he is. Seat 8, we've got Carla Straberger. Or Strawberger. Strawberger. There we go. And seat 9, we've got Tony Mosley.
Dave, what's the gentleman seat 7's last name again?
Gahahagan. Gan. James
Boy,
Gahahagan.
sometimes we really struggle with this stuff.
Gahahagan.
So again, the $2 chips there. The green chips are $2 chips here, Dave. And looks like we're doing a little bit of an experimentation with a different felt there. Did you see out there? That's a blue color.
Yeah, it kind of looks grayish from here, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see.
Supposedly we're going back to green, though.
Ah, okay.
Almost immediately. This could be like a collector's item issue, you know?
Well, yeah, I can see the insignia there is turned around like we had at Old School before.
Exactly.
Way before, if anyone remembers, on our old table.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we got 5-way action here. It's limped around again. We're playing 8-16 limit hold'em, which means you can bet $8 on the first 2 rounds, Dave, and $16 on the last 2 rounds.
Right.
And it's a 4-bet cap in this casino.
Ferdon has picked up a pair of 9s.
Faradon. And he's going to bet now. The flop got checked around. And he's in fairly late position, Dave, so he bets there on the turn thinking he has the best hand. And it looks like he does, but look at Angel call with bottom pair with the deuce. And the river's a diamond. Let's see if Faradon checks here, because it's the 3rd diamond, and it goes check, check. And Faradon is going to take it down.
Yep. Take it down. Ferdy.
You know, a really advanced play, Dave, especially against opponents that aren't too tough, is to really bet a river even if a 3rd flush card comes, and then, you know, really be able to safely fold to a raise, as opposed to on the river going check, check, where you might miss a value bet.
Right.
But you got to be able to lay it down, right, to 1 bet. People sometimes they get themselves in, well, the pot's so big,
Right.
how am I supposed to
calling
fold?
a raise?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
in that case, obviously he could have definitely bet it. When he gets called, though, he could have put the other guy in a higher 9.
Yeah. No, absolutely not necessarily that specific situation,
Right.
but I just see it all the time.
But definitely at limit hold'em, especially at these low limits, I think you need to really value bet. Really
Oh, absolutely. Well, of course, if you want to follow a live thread that's started on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums. World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments, the official Live at the Bike thread. For December 12th, you can also email us at live@thebike.com. And the button's going to move over there to seat 7. That's James. And seat 2 there, Harold. He's played on the show before.
Yeah, he's pretty straightforward, seat 2. He's pretty solid for an 8-16 player.
Limp here. 4-way action. So, Dave, that means it's a $32 pot. Ace, king, 8 here on the flop. No one has an ace. No one has a king. Seat 2's got pocket 6s, which looks to be the left hand. Open limp. And look at this. He turns a set, and now he's going to bet. So he bet $16 here. And it does not look like anyone's going to call.
It's one of those. You see the 6 of spades on the river on the turn. You're going, what could that possibly? How could that possibly have helped you?
Right. Well, in this case.
And that, except for this exact case.
In this case, it did. Well, guy might be betting a king there or something
Exactly.
too, you know. I got to tell you, Dave, I mean, you've given me kind of, given me a hard time about my Patriots all year round. But I have to say that they are back. And you always disagreed with me from the start that Corey Dillon, I think you think he's overrated or he's not one of the top 10 running backs in the league. I think with a healthy Corey Dillon, and they start to get their starters back now, Dave, they're going to be a real force.
Yeah, a real force in that AFC East.
Well, obviously, no, I mean, a real force in the playoffs.
We'll see. We'll see.
Look at this. The pot got chopped around there. It's an 8-16 game.
Wow.
Hey, what? Ooh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 racks there.
I mean, we're talking, that's about $1,100 right
Yeah,
there.
because a rack of green is 5 stacks of green. Each stack of green is 40. A rack is 200.
Right, exactly.
Of course.
So you think of it, I mean, this game is the same as, say, a 20-40 game using, $5 chips.
Exactly.
Or a
4-8.
40-80 using $10 chips, or a 4-8 using $1 chips. So, 5 racks or 4 racks is a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to see a raise here by seat 2 in early position with ace 9 offsuit here. And look at this. Seat 7's going to call with queen 9. Seat 8's got ace queen offsuit. She's just going to call. Button's got pocket 8s. He calls.
Wow, okay.
I think once you get a couple people that call there, that's an easy call on the button with any
on the
pocket
button.
pair
Okay,
in
sure.
a low stakes game. And Angel actually led with pocket 10s. Look at this. He's hit a set of 10s.
Well, and Harold and Carla both have top pair.
And Angel bets right into the set. He's the pre-flop raiser. Let's see if Carla's going to raise. She just calls. Wow, I mean, how do you overcall there with pocket 8, Steve, on the button?
Yeah, see, that's where you get yourself in trouble with those low pocket pairs. You don't hit a set, get out.
And everyone with the ace just calls. The turn's a 4. Harold's going to
How
check.
is Carla? And Carla didn't raise that.
No,
up.
Carla didn't raise the flop.
And, well, Angel's going to keep betting.
And look at this. 8's overcalls again here.
Yeah.
Carla calls, and now, I mean, even
And
if
8s are drawing dead.
if you're Harold here, can you make the overcall with ace 9 with 2 people in between?
Yes, you can.
Apparently you can. But, I mean, that's not the easiest of calls either. The river's a 7, and Angel should bet here again. And he does bet.
And is this going to go overcall?
I mean, that would be absolutely amazing. Now, I guess the 8s were just in there to try to, to sit on it there. They had it set. And Harold overcalled the turn. You wonder what the river would have changed. I guess he was trying to get 2 pair or something. But
Yeah,
but
I
the
mean,
thing
either
is,
that or the board is paired, and I think he's trying to figure out, well, if somebody has a big ace, maybe if a king or a queen come out, maybe I can chop it up.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I'm just trying to get inside his
he's
mind.
going to make the overcall
Yeah,
again.
and his kicker doesn't play.
And I was going to say, even if he made 2 pair, it wouldn't have mattered, right? Well, actually, I guess it would have.
Well, it would have beat the ace queen, but
yeah.
it wouldn't have beat ace 9.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have beat pocket 10s.
And he takes down a big pot there, Dave. I mean, we're talking about how many big bets in there. I mean, you got 5-way action. That's basically 5 bets pre-flop because it's 2 small bets. You get another 4 small bets on the flop.
Yeah.
So that's 7 big bets, and then you get another 3 bets on each street. You're talking about 13 big bets there. That's almost $200, right?
Yeah, it's funny. Some people play it so passive because they're scared to lose money. You end up losing more money because you're playing it passive. If you raise it up on the flop, see where you're at, you can probably get rid of ace 9 for sure.
How about ace queen? Can you ever get rid of that?
Well, I'm not really familiar with Angel there.
Right.
You can get rid of ace queen against certain players.
Certain tight solid players, because usually if you raise the flop, they're just going to come back and 3-bet you, right?
Yeah,
and
I mean,
then
you
you
just-
almost kind of know.
Yeah, you just know that there's no way I'm beating somebody. There's
Right.
no way somebody's going to 3-bet me. Like, if I was playing against you, you're probably not going to 3-bet with ace jack unless you're making a play on it.
Now we had a raise here by
Nick-
Carla. Jack
Carla,
nine
okay.
diamonds. Actually, it was Nicole with ace jack of hearts.
Well, look
who
at this
raised.
here.
What
Carla's got 2 pair, but Nicole's got top pair with the ace of hearts, and there's 3 hearts on the board.
And Nicole bets, and Carla races with jack 9 with 2 pair. Angel's out of there. Let's see what how Nicole's going to do here. She's going to 3-bet here, Dave.
And if you're Carla, you got to 4-bet this.
No, she
Or
just
raise the
calls.
turn.
Yeah, you might be able to wait for a safe card and then raise on the turn. And actually, Nicole checks, and Carlo now bets wisely.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure
and Nicole calls.
what's the advantage. Oh wow, and there's a full house there for.
Yeah. And this is probably going to go check call. Jack 9 is good.
I can't beat that.
Now, the one thing interesting about Carla, if you're playing with a girl like Carla, you can kind of go, okay, top pair, good kicker, she doesn't raise. She needs 2 pair or better, pretty much, to raise. So if she's raising me, suddenly I can start thinking about that. And you know what? People can say, well, Dave, you're privy to this, you've been seeing this, but you know what? So the table. The table has just seen her showdown ace-queen and just check, call, and raise with Jack 9 there, 2 pair.
Dave, what do you think about when your head's up? Now, a lot of times, multi-way, you can actually wait. Like if you were in Jack 9, you'd wait maybe for a non-heart turn in position to raise that turn. But if your head's up, I mean, by not 4-betting the flop, are you just trying to play a trap? Because my thinking is that if you don't 4-bet the flop heads up, and a heart comes, it either kills your action or you don't know where you're at.
Right.
I can sometimes understand multi-way when you wait for a free card, right?
Yeah, I don't terribly mind. I mean, she's in position there. If Nicole actually checked the turn.
Right.
But if Nicole bets the turn, I would have expected.
Right.
You expect Carla there to raise her up there.
Pot is limped around here. 10-9 free. And look at this. Carla bets here with an open-ended straight draw on seat 8.
2 players.
Wenny check calls here with second pair. She has the best hand. Turns at 10.
She's got to like her hand a little better now.
But look at this. Carla's not going to take a card. She's going to bet again. And Wenny's going to call. And you wouldn't imagine that Wenny's going to go anywhere now that she's called a big bet here on the turn. River's an ace. And Carla continues with the bluff. Wow, and Wenny folds. Dave, again, I don't know. I mean, if I had called the turn thinking that my 9 was good, I don't necessarily know if I would have folded to an ace there on the river. Would you have?
Well, I mean, I just if I'm actually going to call the turn,
Right.
well, then I'm committed myself.
Right.
I'm going, okay, 2 pairs good, because it's not like I want to.
Yeah.
Think about it. If I'm putting my opponent on a 10, well, I'm drawing dead.
That's my favorite one.
Well, the other thing, too, is if you call a turn, I mean, maybe one of the reasons why you'd be reluctant to call a turn is you can't beat a big 9. You've got 8, 9. Now the river comes ace and the board's paired. It would definitely make me more likely to call now.
Yeah, you can
hoping
only
for
beat
a
it. You
chop.
can only beat a straight draw. I don't quite understand what the logic was of calling the turn and then folding the river, but we see a lot of that in this game, especially. Actually, in every game.
5 players.
Limped around here. 5-way action. We haven't seen a lot of pre-flop raising here. 10-3-6 with a couple of spades. Looks like seat 1's got king 10. That's Faradon. He's going to bet. And the button here calls. Look at this. I guess Angel with any pair, huh? And Carla overcalls with queen 8 offsuit. Did I miss a draw that she had there on the flop? The turn's a 7.
And she's got a backdoor spade draw.
Well, with the 8 of spades.
Well, now she's got the.
Well, now Faradon bets and Angel's hit 2 pairs, so he's going to raise.
Right, but let's see if Carla is Carla going to stay in there now with a straight. No, okay. I was going to say if she's going to stay in there with a flush draw and a straight draw.
Yeah. Now, I got to be honest with you. Faradon called here, and the river is a jack. It was a 3rd spade. If you don't have a king, if you don't have a spade there, Dave, and somebody pops you on the turn, unless you're against a really tricky player, with no spade redraw with your king 10, I almost sometimes think that that's an easy lay down, because what can you really beat? You can't beat 2 pair, obviously.
I can safely say, I mean, I'm going to say one thing. You don't make money. You're not going to make a living making big laydowns in limit hold'em.
Right.
But at the same time, if you are raised on the turn,
Right.
9 out of 10 times,
1 pair is
really
not
good, right?
Right.
I mean, unless you're against a really tricky player
Well, again,
who
I mean,
might make that move on you.
Dave, you and I are advanced enough to know that, and we will sometimes say, if we were intended with, say, a mediocre hand to make a call on the turn and call on the river, well, why not raise the turn and then just check the river behind the guy?
Right, exactly.
That's much more powerful, so you have to obviously...
And sometimes if I have a flush draw, on the flop and I've just called, and I pick up some sort of other, like a straight draw as well on the turn, I might raise it up and pop it up a little, put some pressure on him.
Limped here again between the big blind and Faradon, who open limped here with king 6 of clubs.
No, he's got top pair. Not much of a kicker, but He should just bet and take this one down.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you.
I mean, the other thing too, Dave, and we always had this discussion when I first started propping here, and 90% of the time, Dave, you and I play limit hold'em when we're on here
See those ones hanging?
in the casino.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless the table, and this is small stakes hold'em, obviously. This is 8-16, so this is going to be different. Unless it's an extremely loose passive game, boy, I don't really like to open limp with any hand.
That's what you need.
From the first three positions.
Yeah.
I don't even know a hand that I would limp in with.
Yeah, generally speaking, in the first three positions, I'm looking for excuses not to play hands.
Right. But even an open limp anywhere, even if you're in mid to late position, what's really the point?
Yeah, you really want to take control. To me, you want to take control of the pot.
Yeah.
Once in a while, if I'm in a really, really passive game, and everybody's been calling, sometimes I'll limp from early to mid position with a ragged ace, like an ace suited, ace 4 suited, and see if I can get 7 or 8 handed.
King Jack 7 here. It was limped around pre-flop, and it gets checked around here. Turns at 10, and Carla here has got a pair. It's a third club. Harold's got the queen of clubs. He's got a straight draw, a flush draw, and a pair. And but Carla's going to bet here with the pair of tens. Faradon has ace 9, no club. And let's see what Harold does. He's just going to call. Angel calls with ace 9 with a 9 of clubs, Dave. He is, I guess he would be drawing to the queen. Well, he can't because the queen of clubs is in Harold's hand.
Right.
Seat 6, who I hear is a 2+2. He's just going to make the call with Jack 10. I think he's a little bit worried here. He's got the best hand with 2 pair. And the river here is a king.
Wow.
Jack 10 gets counterfeited.
But is it still good? No, Queen Jack
No.
is going to be good now,
And
right?
Carla's going to bet here again with 8-10.
And Harold's got the best hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
Kings
does.
and Jacks with a queen kicker. Yeah.
Everybody's thinking too much. So.
There we go. And this is interesting because if Harold lays it down, and
And
Mike,
he does lay it down.
Mike's going to win this hand, I bet. I think Mike's going to call.
On you.
The ace queen of clubs. I fold.
And there it is. Mike's going to take it down there with Jack 10. Dave,
Wait a second. Did he call? No,
oh,
he didn't call.
Wow, he didn't call. Well,
Wow.
obviously, because he got counterfeited, obviously. I mean, he only had a jack there. The pot was pretty big, but what could he beat? I mean, Carla bet right into the turn. There were 3 clubs on board. And he had a worse hand than Harold, obviously, right?
Well, Harold folded, but he was in last position. Wow.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, like I was saying before, making big laydowns on the river and limit hold'em is not where you make money.
Really?
I don't know, Dave, I don't know if that's really that big of a laydown, though. I mean,
Well, the board's paired king now, right?
yeah, well,
The board's paired. He's got second pair on the board. I mean, it's King Jack 10 on the board, plus
Yeah.
his 3 clubs. Isn't there a possibility
Someone
she
could
had,
be-
say, the ace of clubs in her hand? Isn't there a possibility she had the queen of clubs in her hand?
I guess you're right.
I'm just throwing it at you. I mean, it's
I
a
guess
big
you're right.
pot.
Kick him out.
I don't know how many chips were in there, but it's a big pot to lay down just for 8 chips, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you're right. We got a raise here by Faradon with ace 9 of
4
hearts.
players.
And we're going to see 4-way action here with the blinds.
If I wine enough on my cards too.
Oh, wow. Nice flop for preferred there.
Yeah, he's got the nut flush. Look at this. He checks it, Dave, though. He's trying to get tricky with it. I got to be honest with you. I really do jam
Well,
in limit. And the turn comes out 8. But look at Carla. She's
She
going to
is
bet
just-
here with King 8. Now, is Faradon... I mean, what does he do now? He just calls, I guess.
well, at this point, yeah,
Yeah.
since he's decided to play it this way.
Angel's gonna. He's got a pair with the 8 of hearts in his hand.
Well, he's trapped a little bit here, huh?
Yeah.
Not usually the way we like to play this hand.
Well, we've
but
seen
hey.
Carla make a lot of moves here. The river's a heart. Well, see, now, I mean, it's just like anyone in their right mind, it should be. Look at this. Carla's going to bet again, though.
Hey, she's trying. She's bluffing every other hand.
And now, if you're Faradon, do you just call? Try to get the guy behind you to. No. A raise. And,
Yeah, to be honest with you, at that point, it's almost worth a call there because obviously you have the ace of hearts, nobody else can.
Yeah.
And nobody can call you, and you're almost trying to entice the guy to call you behind you.
yeah. I'm just a really big proponent, especially in small limit games, Dave, of just jamming.
Talk about can't judge a book by its cover. Take a look at Carla.
I saw you getting
You'd
ready
never
to
imagine
fold,
it.
so
Oh.
that's why I read.
Thank you. for the
Yeah.
close up there. But you'd never imagine that she's like this big bluffer, huh?
I was gonna bowl. King of club. King of club.
I know they always talk about making big laydowns in limit hold'em.
They can talk.
And obviously, I'm a big proponent. Obviously, if you know you're beat, yeah, lay the hand down.
Right.
But sometimes if the pot is laying you like 9 or 10 to 1 odds on that river call, sometimes you got to look at it and go, well, I only have to be right 1 out of 8 times to make this profitable.
And so they asked if you had been on the board.
I don't like my cards.
Yeah, that Jack 10, I mean, it looked like he was scared on the turn. He didn't think he had the best hand. When the river came king. I can see
Right.
what you mean. Now we get a raise here by Faradon. He's going to bring it in here under the gun with King Jack off suit.
No, but they will talk
Angel calls with Queen Jack suited. Wendy calls with pocket 9s. And Carla's in there with Queen 7 of diamonds. That's Wendy, excuse me. Ace 8, 10
Well,
here.
9's still good here, huh?
Wow, how could you possibly know?
Yeah. A lot of gut shots out there.
Now, Angel, it gets checked to Angel, and he bets. And Faradon calls with his gut shot. Angel's got a gut shot. The turn's a deuce. And Wendy called with pocket 9s.
Wow.
And it goes checked all the way around. The river's a 5. Deuce on the turn, river's a 5.
All right, I need some cards. Real soon.
And look at this, Wendy makes a value bet on the river
Wow.
with pocket 9s.
Thinking maybe she'll get an 8 to call? Maybe she thinks she'll get a 10 to lay it down.
I don't know there. I mean, I gotta be. I think I might have checked that one down, Dave, at the end there. But again, I don't know if she thought that she was making a value bet or she was trying to drive out someone with a 10. But do you really think that somebody with a 10 would lay it down if he has a good kicker if when he checked the turn in position?
I wouldn't think so, but from watching this just for the first 15 minutes, you might. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, just back that last one, the guy had Jack 10 and was talking about making the call. Now, I don't want to overcall with that hand if somebody called between, but since I was the last person and there's nobody after me,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to start look. You got to look at those things too.
Yeah, seat 4. You know, common mistake in limit hold'em at any level, Dave. It's just going to limp in with 5-8 of clubs from up front.
Yeah, not much value in that at all.
Seat 6 has got an ace-jack of clubs. I probably would have popped that out, driven and get control of the hand in late position, but he just calls.
Wow.
James is in there with pocket 8s, and we got 5-way action. Ace-queen 10. And I assume that Mike is going to bet here with his ace-jack. He does.
Now, who's the 2+2
Wow,
or seat
look at
6?
this. No, he's not a 2+2. How does James call a flop there with pocket 8s? Turn is a 5. And Mike is going to
Yeah, I
lead
don't-
again.
I mean, you look at that flop.
Uh,
Even if the 8 of spades were to come, you don't know if you're any good. I mean, that's one of those rare times where you really, no matter how big the pot is, there's no way you can call with the 8 there.
And look at this. Carla continues to call with a gut shot on the turn, a big bet, and it gets checked around. Faradon was in there with queen 6.
Mike didn't bet the river.
Well,
Here, mate.
I mean, I probably would have bet there. Debatable, but, I mean, one of the other mistakes that you see in this game, Dave,
Yeah.
all the time, is if you're going to be in there, again, if you're in late position, especially in a game that's seeing multi-way action before the flop, and you've got a raiser and at least one caller, you can pretty much call with any pocket pair trying to hit your set because you have odds. But once you don't hit it, say I call with pocket 4s, and I don't hit it, there is almost no situation where you can take one off, even if it's for a small bet. I mean, unless the situation was it somehow got capped 8 ways, and you were in there with your small pocket pair, and you only had to call one bet on the flop. But how often does that happen, Dave?
Exactly.
You know,
But you especially can't call when you have, in that case, where there's 2 spades out there. You have 2 red 8s. You're basically, you have 1 out, you're drawing just to the 8 of clubs.
also, the board's so coordinated, you could catch that one out and then have a Broadway card to make a straight on the river
Right.
here. Now, we had a raise here by James. Pocket kings in seat 7.
Well, and Wenny and Angel both have flush draws.
Yeah. Now, James is going to bet with the overpair. Seat 2 calls with a flush draw. Look at this. Angel's going to check raise with the flush draw. Another mistake that we see. Why would you want to drive the people out in between with that low flush draw?
And James should continue. There you go, James.
Yeah.
Good job. He 3-bets
James
it.
3-bet.
And Harold very smartly gets out of there.
No way.
Angel calls and Wendy calls. Chances are diamonds aren't going to come here.
Take my face.
Turns a queen.
Well, Wendy's got more outs now.
She's open-ended.
Angel's in really bad shape here.
James is going to bet here again.
My Irish.
Now, this is the type of time where sometimes I'd pop it, I'd wait, and I'd pop it on the turn here if I had, like, Jack Deuce of diamonds.
The river's a deuce. Angel was drawing dead there on the turn, right?
Yeah, he's...
And I guess it gets checked over to James. He's going to bet here again.
Good for him.
Nice pot.
Check raising, Dave, and raising when next to act with pure draws. When I mean a pure draw, like a 3-4 of diamonds, he's not going to be able to hit a pair and probably win that hand.
Right.
What's the value in doing that?
Well, the only time there's a value in doing that, I'll throw this at you. If let's say I'm under the gun, okay, I'm first to act. This guy in second position bets. I get 8 callers, and I have the nut flush draw. Okay, I can then raise for value,
Right.
check raise for value, because I'm going to get 7 callers probably.
Well, yeah, but that's because the guy to your immediate left just bet.
Exactly.
But
I'm
you're
saying
not.
you got.
But you're not going to, with a pure flush draw, you're not going to check raise a button better with 7 people in between.
No, I don't want to drive them out. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to keep them in.
But we see it all the time.
Right now.
You know, or somebody say, check raise 3 bets.
Right.
With just a pure draw. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, it comes
know?
down to the question of when you're putting money in the pot, and when you're raising, ask the question of why am I raising? Why am I putting money in the pot? Just a little update, by the way. I actually just I wrote another blog for Under the Gun, and
Blinds, please.
Under the Gun with David Tuckman, and it should be up either today or tomorrow or the next day. Actually, it's already up, so you can go to liveatthebike.com and read it.
No, check it out.
I actually am talking about Ace King and the value or overvalue of Ace King, a debate on it, I guess.
Well, again, we had our good friend and consulting producer on the LA poker scene, Dan Abrams, wrote an article for Card Player this issue about the overvalue. And he made some great points in there, Dave.
Yeah, I actually emailed him back with about a couple of pages of what I thought and my ideas on it, and figured I'd put it on Under the Gun and see what everybody else thought.
Now, Faradon raised with pocket kings here after a couple limbers.
And he'll be happy to see that there's only 1 ace left.
Yep, 5-way action. And look at this, he's hit top set.
Well, he'll check it, I'm sure, right?
I don't know. I mean, if you're in position, don't you want to drive? Well, he checked it, turns a 5. I mean, the only time I would really do that, Dave, is if I was at a table with really aggressive players that are guaranteed to bet on the turn. But look, he's not going to get a bet on the turn. Nobody bet.
Right.
He's not going to be able to pop it up.
Well, it just doesn't make it. Doesn't. I don't believe it either. You got to look at the flop. Go. Wait a second.
Yeah.
King Deuce 9. You raised in position. Everybody checked you, and you checked too.
Yeah. But look at this. Wendy's going to call with ace high. Wow.
And she's drawing dead.
Yeah.
And there's the
And
ace.
oh, look at that. The case ace, which means Faradon's going to... Actually, you know what? Wendy came out and bet here on the river.
Raise.
So Faradon looks like an absolute genius.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, if the ace didn't come on the river, he would have made the absolute bare minimum on that
And
hand.
this is an easy laydown for her.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, that's one of those times where I don't care how big the pot is. That's an easy laydown. Those are chips you can definitely save. It's very clear when you start piecing it together and you go, wait a second. He raised pre-flop. He checked on the flop. Then he bet. Now he's raising me. I mean, I think anybody in the whole world can go, the minimum he has is ace-king, but he probably has pocket kings. Maybe pocket 9s.
No raise, no win.
Did you make it straight?
Oh, no.
So we got a couple of emails here and mention of that we are planning tomorrow to do, I guess it was a Barry Woods initiated
Don, I need
2+2 or 300 to 500 no limit game.
Really?
Yeah. So we want to confirm
You know what's
that for
interesting,
everybody.
actually? My new schedule brings me into the Bicycle Casino Monday through Fridays now.
Yeah, so you'll be here tomorrow.
I'll be here tomorrow. Now, you'll be doing the webcast with Shirley.
So if we're short for some reason, you can hop on in, or you
Well,
can
short
play
or not
anyways.
short, I think I've seen Barry Woods and Jeff Klein, all these guys play. I can't wait to get in that game.
So you would like to play tomorrow. So look at this, Tuckman saying he's going to play as well. This is going to
I
be fun.
might. I'm not sure. I might have a prior engagement.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, it'll be nice now that all three of us will be here on all of the days that we broadcast, Dave, so that we can sometimes hop into the games, which it seems like there's more and more demand for us to
Yeah.
possibly pop into the games now.
Well, I've been trying to play more No Limit lately. I've been enjoying it more than Limit, to be honest with you, just lately. And so I would love to play tomorrow night. We'll see how it goes.
And that Corporation Mike versus me heads-up match, you know, we just haven't had a chance to plan it. I guess it could possibly be the next week or maybe wait after Christmas on a Tuesday, probably, if we're going to keep Monday and Limit holding.
I got you.
And that, again, that will probably be a series of 3 matches, or best 2 out of 3 for $1,000.
$1,000 each. Great. And that'll be Corporation Mike, Mount Baldy,
Yeah.
Versus,
and I want to make it so that we have enough chips to really. I mean, because I think that the heads up, at least the preliminary matches, have kind of been a crapshoots that we've had here.
No, I think clearly you'd probably play yours and start it out the lines at 25-25 or something like that.
Yeah.
Raise.
Now look at this. We got a raise here on the button. Pocket queens, angel, a couple limpers, or many limpers in front. And look at this Wenny. I mean, small blind play there, Dave. Deuce 8 of clubs. She's going to call it cold in a small blind, 2 bets.
Yeah, some people don't. They can't take themselves away from the fact that they have some money in the pot already. You have to realize that the small blind, that money's not yours anymore.
Well, look at this. An angel flops a full house, and this is really a time to jam, Dave.
Yeah,
I don't even get tricky with it.
And look at Tony,
Tony's
though.
going to bet right
Well, he's
into
got trip
it.
kings.
Yeah. So let's see what Angel does. He's just going to call. He's just going to call. But again, I mean, there could be a case to raise the flop. You're going to still have all those people call behind you. You got a flush draw. Turns a deuce.
Well, now Wenny's got a pair as well. She's not going anywhere.
Tony bets, and now probably Angel's going to raise, I would imagine now.
He says I'm too white. Raise.
Yeah.
And Carla's in there also with what?
I don't know.
See?
So Wenny, look at this. Wenny doesn't call the double bet. And sometimes that's what will happen, especially if you're against tricky players, Dave. You can raise the flop. Even if you flop a full house, the flush draws will come.
Right.
But if you raise the turn and the board's paired, a good player will throw the hand away.
To be honest with you, if you had ace-king there, you might want to raise the turn and make it too expensive for the draws to stay in there.
Right.
But with a full house, you want to raise it right away. Keep them in there, get the pot really big,
Right.
so they go nowhere.
Right. And there it is. Tony just check calls the river.
Tony had one out there, needed a king, and only a king.
Yeah, ace-king, you're actually trying to drive people out. Pocket queens, you're not. But raising the flop on the small bet isn't going to necessarily drive anyone out. So that's the point of it, right?
And if somebody bets right into that board, I'm going, wow, good, they've got a king.
Right.
Okay? Now, if you raise it up there, somebody with the flush draw is probably going to call. You know, and you want to get like king, queen, queen out there. If I have ace, king, you know, I'm not really worried about anything, but at the same time, yeah, I do want to drive out those flush draws. I was going to say you can be worried about Jack 10 also, but Jack 10's really only drawing to a 9.
Well, that actually might be one of those times too, especially if it's super multi-way where the flop comes king, king, queen with 2 clubs, and you've got ace, king, a red ace, king, where you actually wait to the turn to raise. Because not only you actually want to wait to drive people out, but you don't want to raise a clubbed turn either, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You almost.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it's a rare day that I don't want to raise it right away.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm usually a big proponent of raising everything on the
I mean, you
flop.
think about that hand. He made the minimum. I don't think he made that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he raises the flop,
That's really okay.
there's a good chance he gets a call there. Carla probably doesn't call.
Take me money. Thank you.
The other guy might even 3-bet it. Who knows?
Now Angel raised here again, in position. He's got pocket 4s. 5-way action. Sometimes you can actually pull this move with low pocket pair, Dave, if you're willing to check the flop that you miss and take it for 4 cards to hit a set here. Drive the pot up, build the pot up. So let's see how it goes.
Oh, it's multi-way.
And he did.
me
He
on.
did check it. The turn's a deuce.
You get for saying that. You're a bet raise.
And now, C2 is going to bet Harold with ace-7. But look at this Angel. He's going to stay in there, Dave, with pocket 4s.
Now, if Angel were to raise this, he'd take the pot down.
Yeah. Well, that's very advanced.
Of course.
You know,
The winning one, I don't care what it consists.
River's an 8.
Nice
Check.
and this
Yeah.
check down.
Ace-7 there is going to take it down.
What kind of crap?
I mean, the
is that?
interesting,
King 9.
Are you serious?
the interesting thing with pocket 4s, pocket 5s, you're going to hit your set 1 out of about 7 times, right?
Right.
Somewhere right around there. 7.5, I want to say. So if you've got more than, say, 6 or 7 players, you can raise it up.
Well, not only can you raise it, though, too, but if you've got 6 or 7 players, again, against good players usually know, Dave, that when the pot is not raised pre-flop and you hit a pair and you don't think it's good, you don't really have odds to call.
Right.
But if it's been raised and you think your cards are good to hit trips or 2 pair, you can call a small bet on the flop. So if you hit your set, oh, now you're golden, because everyone's going to stick around anyways, and most people are drawing dead to your hand.
My general rule of thumb is, even though I'm only going to hit a set 1 out of 7 times, is if there's 5 opponents in there and I'm getting 5 to 1 of my money, I have no problem putting a lot of money in there with the small pairs.
Yeah.
Because I'm going, okay, I'm already getting 5 to 1 plus some implied odds.
Right.
And there'll certainly be something.
Right.
5 players.
Now we had a raise here by Harold with pocket jacks and seat 2, 5-way action. King 6-10, so 1 overcard to the Kings.
Well,
but,
Wendy's got the nut draw there.
but Harold's got the best hand. He's going to bet. Wendy is going to
Little raise here.
call. Now, I actually like the call. Well, I guess it depends on if you want to try to win the pot right there. If there's a chance that you can bet again on the turn here. Turn's a 10. And Harold bets again, and Wendy
raise
calls
there.
again. Yeah, you could have raised there.
Represent the king or 10. He can't
Yeah.
do anything right now.
Yep. Ripper here's a diamond, and she makes it. And he checks. And he really can't beat anything here.
Exactly. He can beat nothing.
Not a 10, not a king,
The only
not
problem
a
is that
flush
he's
draw.
checked it, inducing a bluff.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. What can she beat? What did she call me with?
And he wisely folded there. I gotta be, I would probably be more apt to call that flop with ace-3 of diamonds in this game, a small stakes loose passive game, and raise it to be tricky, say in a tough 20-40 or 30-60
Right.
game.
I mean, the only thing I'll throw at you, and this is interesting. Well, this is the player. You're playing the player there. In that case, Harold, if you raise him on the turn, good chance he'll lay it down if he's out like jacks or queens.
Right.
Or he missed with ace-queen or something like that. And then I just want to throw one thing at you. If she raises the flop, can't she take a free card? She's in position.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
But again, the value of driving the other people out with your draw, though, does that hurt? Is it worth the free card?
Well, you wonder if it's a naked draw or not, though. Because
Just because the ace high.
Yeah, exactly. It's also you also got the high card as well.
3 players.
Three-way action here.
Obviously, a lot of players obviously know about the old raise the flop, get the free card.
Right. Paul was limped around. Queen 3-8. And Angel looks like he's playing ace-6 of diamonds. And Mike's going to make a position bet here on the button. And there it is.
Good. Hey, the power of position. We haven't heard much from Mike here, but that's a good play on Mike. Well, if I play tomorrow night, I guarantee you I'm not going to try to bluff Barry Woods. But I'm going to bet for value all darn night. I wonder if I can get put in that game and not taken out.
Not taken out.
Well, I mean, so I can actually play in the game during the webcast. We'll see. And pull some strings.
Well, I think everyone would love it. Seat number 7 here has got ace-queen.
Raise.
And he's going to raise.
I'll dance with you.
2 players.
And Ferd had limped in and early and under the gun in position with king queen offsuit, and he's badly dominated here. And he's got to play king queen out of position here. It's probably going to go check, bet, fold.
I'll check raise this.
And he called.
I know.
Wow. Goes check, check here, and the river is an
Oh
ace.
wow!
Well, Faradon's going to make a bet here because he's got the queen of diamonds, and it's good.
And James is going to pay him off.
Well, he's got ace-queen.
And I would say that James missed the bet on the turn, but I think Ferdon actually probably calls there with the queen of diamonds in his hand, don't you think?
Yeah.
Here will be your blind.
And the button moves over here to seat 8.
Blinds in this game are $4 and $8. We're playing 8-16 limit hold'em, and you are watching live at the bike. I'm David Zuckerman here with Bart Hansen. We play this game with $2 chips.
Yep, green chips, $2 chips, which we don't normally see in No Limit on the No Limit tables,
Right.
because there's no real reason to have them on the No Limit tables. Pot is limped around here. 4-way action.
8-6-6 there.
Yeah, Harold's got top pair. Seat 2, he checked it from up
Yeah, now
front.
Angel's got a decent hand there. Angel's got
5-9 of diamonds.
yeah, she's got the flush draw.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, he's got the flush draw and a gut shot straight draw.
Yeah.
Or the paired board does he really want to go for it? Let's see.
Well, he bet,
Oh, well, there you go.
and Harold's going to check call here. Turns a diamond, there it is.
Well, now if you're Harold, can you get away from anything? Can you beat anything? No,
There
you
he
can't.
goes, he folds.
He throws it away.
Harold seems to play pretty smart from what we've seen of him.
Thank you.
And you'd hate to target certain players, but Harold would be the kind of player that I'd be sitting with and I'd respect as a player. I go, okay, if he's in there, he's probably got something decent.
Right.
But at the same time, I'd target him as a player that I might be able to bluff later on at some point.
Yeah.
And some people say that you can't bluff and limit hold'em. That's a bunch of bullshit. Because you definitely can.
He has a big blind.
I'll take seat number 1.
So you're gonna raise
Button
again.
is
I was
in
about to
seat
say,
9.
So you're the blind. It's the
You
light.
get right, you get right.
Raise.
It's the lights.
Looks like we got a raise here
3 players.
by seat number 3, Angel with ace queen. He's going to get called. Couple spots, queen 9 deuce. And he's going to bet.
Yeah, you have to miss 2 hands.
And he's going to take it down.
Take it down.
There it is.
Take it down, Angel.
Looks like from the board that I'm, again, Dave, you can follow a live thread by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums. World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments. Looks like somebody wants to come down and play in this game, Dave. 2+2 or La
Come on
Hero.
down.
Come on down.
I can postpone it.
All you gotta do is put your name on the board and you are in.
Yeah. Now we're going to have a little seat change here.
Yeah,
James
James.
is going to move over to seat 1. And I think we're going to have a new player coming into the game. Pocket 8s here for seat 9. Pocket 7s for Carla. And Carla's going to limp here with pocket 7s.
Raise.
And James is going to raise with pocket 8s. Or, excuse me, that's Tony in seat 9. He raises with pocket 8s.
Oh, James is in there real quick.
Queen 10 offsuit, high Broadway.
Queen 10 offsuit is a hand that can really get you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like calling raises with Queen 10 offsuit and limit, Dave.
Not usually, no.
No. Here we go to the flop. Ace 9 deuce. Let's see if Tony shuts. No, he's going to make a continuation bet.
Good for him. Should be a pretty easy laydown for
Cards
James.
exposed.
He does. And what is Carla going to do down with 7s?
He's just going to call. Check call. Wow. Turns a 6. She checks.
Check, check.
Tony checks right behind her. The river's an ace. Well, obviously.
There's like 35 bucks.
And wait a minute. Did she bet and Tony folded?
I did the first
No, no,
Oh,
they
okay.
just showed.
Okay, they just
They
checked it
both
down.
checked.
I mean,
Well,
the way that I like to play that is, I like to bet the turn and then maybe just check it down on the river there. Hope she doesn't have a 9.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Well, you almost, in limit hold'em, it's a weird thing. You almost are forced to not only make continuation bet on the flop, but to make that continuation bet on the turn, because there are so many players that just take one off no matter what.
I
It's
gotta
like,
be-
I'll take one off.
The other thing, too, is sometimes you're forced to put money in on the turn. Well, not forced, but a lot of times I feel that I'm putting money in on the turn in position,
You're on the board.
knowing that I probably don't have the best hand, but there are 4 or 5 people that are drawing things that can beat me. So it's almost like I'm betting to get a free showdown at the river, and I'm charging people for their draws.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, say that there's maybe a 70. Say that I think that I'm beat right now because I don't have top pair 75-25% of the time.
Right.
Well, I actually bet if there's more than 4 or 5 people in there, charge them from their draws. Because look at it, if I don't get check raise, I'm actually getting odds on that play. If I think that I have the best hand, say 25% of the time, and just
Right.
check it down on the river.
Well, I mean, obviously, I would rather put money in there and get check raised on the turn
Right.
and know where I'm at
Right. Exactly.
than check the turn and let somebody have a free card where they wouldn't have called, like with some
Right.
gut shot, and they got there and they beat me.
Pot is limped around here again.
Misses everybody.
And Carla bets in position with king high, and she's going to take it down.
Take it down.
So, Dave, big win for the Jets over the weekend, huh?
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I was counting my days to buy my Reggie Bush jersey.
Well, it doesn't look
Very
like it
disappointing.
looks like Houston's going to be able to snatch him up.
Although I think Houston plays San Fran in the last week of the season, which will be dubbed the Reggie Bush Bowl. Yeah, I was actually supposed to get together with Isaac to watch the Jets-Oakland game, but I thought it was the Sunday night game.
Yeah, it was a morning game.
But I
right?
woke up and the game was already on. I was like, what's going on?
Limped around, and the button's going to raise here. Seat 4, she's got ace 9 offsuit.
Blind again. Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Carla limped in there with Jack 10 of clubs. James is in there with pocket 7.
Yeah, he's got the best hand right now, but how does he know that?
Just wins.
Here we go to the flop. 10-8-6. Well, Carla's got top pair.
Yeah, not a bad flop with pocket 7s, I got to tell you. Now, in this case, James has the 7 of diamonds in his hand as well. So if he thinks of it, it goes, okay, well, 30% of the time I have the best hand, and the rest of the time I don't, I can draw still.
Turns a 4 of diamonds.
Well, now he's got a double gutter here. Actually, yeah, he's got a double gutter. A 5 or a 9 will give him a straight. And a diamond will give him a straight. Not like he knows the 7's good, but he's throwing it away.
But look at this, yeah. He folded. It was the 3rd diamond.
I'm
I guess he
surprised.
didn't want to get involved. River's a 7, but it gives Wenny, who stuck around with a gut shot, a straight.
Yeah, it's just...
Carla bets, and Wenny's going to raise.
Wow. And should be an easy laydown.
Again, this should be, another fold, right? You almost got to think that the way Wenny put it, she probably made the nut flush on the turn or something like that.
I love the
Yeah.
bet by Carl on the river. I really do. Like you said, bet it until they show you that you don't have the best hand.
Right.
I can literally, you and I have been playing this game a lot of hours, you know? And I can count the number of times I've been raised on the river and it's been a bluff.
Oh.
I mean,
Any time that someone shows strength on the river against normal players, Dave, that usually the 90% of the players that we play with here that aren't professionals, if they either check raise the river or they raise the river, on Friday night, Dave, I came and I played in a 20-40 game.
Yeah.
After the show, the pot was $800. I had pocket aces and I got raised on the river, and I still threw it away.
yeah. And sure enough, you were beat.
Yeah. Well, actually, the guy didn't show me the hand, but there was just no way that one pair was good there.
Right. No, I mean,
It's absolutely no way.
and like I said, you don't want to make big laydowns in limit hold'em. You're not going to make a living doing that. But literally, I mean, if I think of about 10,000 hands,
Yeah.
maybe I've been raised on the river as a bluff 3 times, 4
Right.
times. I mean, it happens more in no limit hold'em,
Right,
but
right.
limit hold'em so rarely.
When he raised here, she's got king, queen suited.
5 points.
5-way action.
5 ways, raised pots. That's an $80 pot, folks.
Button is over there in seat number 5, is it? Well, Harold just opened limp there with ace jack.
Well, look at Tony's hand. Tony's flopped 2 pair, and Wenny's flopped top pair.
Yeah. And Tony's going to bet right away.
Love it. I love the play by Tony here. Bet right into it, get raised by Wenny, and then you can 3-bet it.
Harold folds. Angel's going to call with pocket 3s. And look at this, Wenny just calls, Dave.
How do you just call that?
And Carla overcalls. She's got a gut shot to the 5.
How do you just call that? I don't understand that.
Turns a jack.
Wow, now Wendy's got a draw, doesn't she? No, she doesn't. I'm sorry.
No.
That was the King of Hearts for a second.
Tony's going to bet here again. Well, if maybe Wendy just called because she's intending to raise here on the turn, but she's not. So, amazing. And Carla continues to call with that gut shot to the 5. And the river is a 9, and anyone with a 10 would have a straight. This might just get checked around.
Come on, Tony, bet again.
How about this? Wendy's going to bet.
Wow. Well, you know what? She probably figures if they can't bet, I probably had the best hand.
No.
I can't blame Wendy for betting that. For betting that. I got to be honest.
Really? I don't know. Sometimes you almost going to bet there and only get called by a hand that can beat
Well, I'm
you.
trying to think here. She has King Queen.
Yeah.
Can't beat King Jack. Can't beat King 10. Can't beat King 9. Can't beat
Right.
King 8. Can't beat King 7. You might be right in that case.
Yeah.
You might very well be right. I mean, you got to start thinking of the hand.
Not ace king, not king 10, not king jack.
You'd have to go down to King 6.
Right.
Just odd that he didn't bet the river. I'm amazed she never raised, though.
Yeah. And Wendy's chip stack has gone down a little bit since the beginning of the show.
And she's down about 3/4 of a rack.
Yeah. Limp here. And also, Dave, sometimes in really, really loose passive games, you might actually be able to limp in with low pocket pairs in early positions, which I don't normally do.
Right.
If I don't fear a lot of pre-flop raising, right?
Why not? Yeah.
Ace 6 jack here.
Oh.
Angel's got a flush draw.
And the pair. Look at that. Nice flop for him.
He's gonna bet with the pair of jacks and the flush draw.
I keep wanting to saying she, too.
When he calls here with king 10, she's got a gut shot to the queen.
And she's got a backdoor, the backdoor nut flush draw.
Now Harold wisely folds the pocket deuces.
You made extra money.
The turn is a jack. Look at Angel's hand now. Trip jacks with the heart draw. And he checks it, Dave. And the river's a queen.
Wow,
And when he gets there, oh my. And she's going to raise him up on the river. I mean, I just...
Yeah, and she was drawing really slim. I mean, she needed pretty much, she had 3 queens to get, because obviously the Queen of Hearts would have brought him a flush.
Thank you.
Except for last time.
Can't believe me. He was
Button's
thinking
going to move
about
over
it,
here to
too.
seat 8.
Huh?
And there's a chip count there. So Wendy's got the most chips there, almost $1,000. That's huge in this game, Dave. I mean, sometimes you don't see people in the 2040 game with like $500.
No, yeah, without a doubt. Nicole only with 130, but in Limit Hold'em, chip stack doesn't
No, it doesn't really mean that
make a
much
difference
at
because
all.
you can't really push anybody around with that. Interesting email here from Barry Woods here. Obviously, referencing his daughter that we talked about on Friday, and he says, "Bart, you have a better chance of dating Dave."
I needed one right now.
See you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure what he's saying about that. Is that something derogatory toward me or you?
I guess I'm not good enough for his daughter. I think his
But you're
daughter's
good enough
actually,
to me?
I think his
mean-
daughter's actually involved with. Looks like a handsome gentleman here.
Yeah, they do look happy. He sent the picture of his, I guess, his daughter and her boyfriend, I assume. Queen Deuce here, the best hand. James going to take it down.
There it is. Button's going to move over here to seat 9. And the funny thing about Barry Woods was that he doesn't really get bluffed that often, except on Friday when he was bluffed by Ed 3 times, Dave.
Yeah, I think Barry's getting soft in his old age. Once again, folks, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. If you want to email us any questions or comments, please do so at liveatthebike.com. You can also follow us on a live thread at 2plus2.com. I think, what are we in the low to mid limit section?
Are you serious?
No, where are we?
World Poker Tour and other
I'm
televised
sorry.
tournaments.
I'm sorry, we move around every day. How am I supposed to know where we are?
Bud has limped around here. 4-way action. Looks like we get an ace-queen over there for C3. He didn't bring it in for a raise.
No, and Carla's going to call here with her open-ended straight draw.
Yep. She's got 8-9. Angel bet here with ace-queen. And seat 1 is in there. James, she's got bottom pair.
Yeah.
Turns a 3.
And Angel's going to continue to bet here.
Yep.
Carla's going to continue to call.
That's
And there it is.
And the river brings the drum roll, please.
River's a 4, no help. And Angel's going to check here. Look at this. Carla's going to bet. She's going to bluff. And in this case, checking the river helped Dave because it induced a bluff.
A nice check.
Yeah.
Rarely do I like to see the check on the river. You want to bet for value, especially at these low limits. But if you think you can induce a bluff, hey, great play.
Yep. I mean, there are common things as you gain more experience about limit hold'em. I mean, the play almost becomes automatic, especially I play it so much online, Dave. 4 or 5 tables at a time. There are just common odds that you know in your head. When you hit a pair on the flop in an unraised pot, and you don't think your pair is good, meaning you've got, say, bottom pair, second pair, and you're against the type of player that would only bet top pair, you don't have odds to continue. If the pot is raised and you think your second pair or trips might be good, then you do have odds to continue.
Right.
I mean, and it's just a simple situation here where we see a lot of players, if they hit any piece of the flop, they will call with the small bet round, which is just a mistake in terms of the odds.
Yeah. Generally speaking, I mean, I just notice myself. I go, if I'm chasing rather than being chased, I'm playing bad poker.
Right.
I want to be chased.
6-way action. I think we had a raise here. Actually, it was limped around, Dave. 6-way action. Ace, ace, 5. Now, Tony bet out with trips. He's in, see if he's going to bet out from seat 8 here again with trips. And he is. So, again, that tells me he's pretty advanced. And Mike is going to call. He's got a flush draw.
He's got to be careful. If 10 of diamonds comes out, it's no good.
Turns a 3. Tony's going to bet here again.
There you go.
And the other thing, too, is that something in a limped pot here with ace 10, normally, well, let's see what Mike is going to do. Mike is not going to chase, so there you go. Normally, especially in a good passive table,
Yeah.
somebody might play that dance. I think I'm referring to that playing backwards article that was in Card Player a couple articles ago, where they're going to check something as weak as Ace X, Ace Deuce, Ace 3, and I'm going to bet the flop because I know that someone's going to try to check race me with an inferior hand on the turn. And I'm going to make an extra bet as opposed to... actually, I'm going to make an extra bet and a half.
Right.
As opposed to checking the flop and then him betting and I raising and him probably just calling. So you get 2 big bets on the turn. You play it with a bet on the flop. You've made 1 small bet and now 3 big bets.
Yeah.
So again, normally betting your hand is the right way to go.
You've got to understand, obviously,
Right.
in Limit Hold'em, if you lose a whole round of betting, you can't always make that up.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
on
not
the
like-
river when somebody might have missed their draw.
It's not like No Limit when you flop a monster and you can let somebody catch up and not bet because you can bet anything on the next round.
Oh, well, I mean, no limit, obviously. I mean, you can make no money on the flop,
Right.
no money in the turn, and make it all
Right.
on the river. Can't do that in Limit Hold'em.
Queen 3-4 here. The pot was limped around. Look at Carla. She's got bottom 2 pair. She's going to bet.
Well, James might get himself in trouble here. He's got 2 pair, and I think he's going to raise it up.
Well, he's got top pair. He's
I'm
going
sorry,
to raise
two
it
pair,
up.
yeah, thank you.
Pretty standard stuff so far. Let's see how Carla's going to play it. I can tell you with bottom 2 pair, I probably 3-bet, and she did 3-bet,
There you go.
and he calls.
Well, especially because she's out of position now,
Yeah.
and I assume she's going to bet again.
Turns a deuce. She's picked up. Nope. There you go. I thought she had a flush draw, but she doesn't. She's going to bet again. And James calls. And again, against some players, Dave, you almost have to know if she continues to fire and she 3-bet me on the flop, I mean, that Queen Jack isn't good. But again, that's really advanced to know that. I had this exact hand, Dave. I was playing 20 Hold'em this afternoon.
Yeah.
I had Queen Jack. It was limped around 4 ways or 5 ways. I bet the flop. I got a call to my immediate left.
Right.
Everyone else folded. I bet the turn. The turn was an uncoordinated card. Didn't really bring a straight or a flush, and the guy raced me on the turn, and I just knew that Queen Jack was not good.
Figured he probably had a set or 2 pair.
And it happened to be that he had limped in with pocket kings.
Oh, okay.
It's just...
Sometimes people say about instincts and stuff. Sometimes you just got to trust those instincts.
Right.
And if your gut says that you're beat, you usually trust your gut.
Right. Now we got the buttons moved over there to seat 3.
So we're getting some sad Monday night games. I know tonight is actually Atlanta. Who's playing tonight? Atlanta, help me out. Atlanta, New Orleans, which is obviously not a great match. And next week, I was looking at the Monday night schedule for next week. Next week's schedule, we have the Green Bay Packers, all 3 wins of them, versus the Baltimore Ravens, who I think I want to say 3 or 4, I think we have 4 wins. So between 2 teams, they have 7 wins. It's really sad. And supposedly we might be having some technical difficulties with our stream. Please bear with us.
Yep.
Heads up action here.
Had good hand.
And they're going to
Get
chop it up
chopped
here.
up. Yeah.
And a game like this does make sense to chop, obviously. Instead of paying $5 rake, you're only paying $1.
Yep.
And when the pot is only going to be like $16 or maybe $24,
Yeah.
doesn't really pay.
Definitely makes sense to chop it up here. Button's going to move over here to seat 6.
You don't chop?
Button is in seat 6. Small blind is seat 8. That's Carla. Seat 9, Tony has the big blinds. Seat 7 actually is sitting out for a second. And it folds around to Nicole, and everybody folds around, and we might get another chop here.
Wow.
2 chops in a row at an 8-16 game. Amazing.
Michael,
Right on the microphone.
Yeah.
call in. Hurry up before she
Well,
back.
at least they weren't yours.
So Button's going to move over here to seat 9.
It'd be funny if she came back right now and you're playing around with
I would not find
And Al's going to come into the game, Dave. I think
Good old Al.
Loves the show. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this isn't the same Al.
We'll have to take a peek at him.
Oh, this is
Philly Al.
Sugar Bear Al, Philly Al. He's going to play 8.
Sugar Bear. Sugar Bear.
Al Barberi.
Philly Al, nice guy, real nice guy.
Playing with him in
Former professional baseball player.
right.
Finished his career with a .333 batting average, folks.
1 for 3. And he had limped in, or he posted, Dave. He got Queen Jack off suit, and he's going to raise here in the post position.
I'm actually a big fan, if you do come in behind in a game, of raising. Because you've already got money in the pot. The pot's a lot bigger. And if you raise, I mean, if nobody's entered before, you're the first person to enter the pot.
Yeah.
And you raise it, oftentimes you can steal a button there, and you're up against 2 blind hands.
Yeah.
So you'll see me do that a lot, actually. If I'm in the, if I actually come in behind the button, I will raise with even a just a little bit above average holding. If nobody else has entered the pot.
Well, that won't be any different than mine did.
Got a limp in here. King Jack off.
And this is the
suit,
kind of hand you're
suit
talking
three.
about. King Jack off suit. The problem with limping in that, whether it's early position or late position, that's not a hand that does well multi-way.
Yep.
Now, if it was King Jack suited, I'd say, okay, maybe you want to get a multi-way, but King Jack offsuit, I really don't want to see 5 players, 6 players in there.
Here we go with a flop 10-4 deuce here with a couple of hearts.
Yeah, Mike's got the best hand here. Mike's got Queen 10. Nobody else has got much of anything. Carla and James have the same hand. They both have a pair of deuces. The ace kicker. And
got
it's going to go
three-way
3 ways,
action.
yeah. Deuces all call.
Here we go to the turn.
Wow.
And look at that. The case deuce comes off.
Wow, and let's see if they play it tricky.
Unbelievable stuff.
And that's just a bad beat there. Neither one of these players even had the heart draw. And interesting.
Bye, Angel.
Now, Carla just smooth called Mike's bet, but now James is going to raise it, and he's raising all in.
But I'm the same.
Oh, here we go to the river.
And they all call. The river's a 6 of hearts.
And now James checks. I guess he's scared of the flush. Carla bets. Actually, excuse me, James is all in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, James is all in. He moved all in on the turn.
Yeah.
And
Shop it up there.
yeah, give Mike credit. He did not call the river.
Yep.
He felt inclined to call the turn, though.
And of
Chop
course,
it up.
Texas Hold'em, the best 5 cards, Dave, in any combination.
Right. Some people will ask me, they'll go, well, wait a second, my best 5 cards are tied with this guy. Then do we go to the 6th card? And obviously, no. It's your best 5 cards playing. If it's chopped, it's chopped. Chopping a pot, kind of like kissing your sister, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't take anything. You
I
can check
did.
the camera.
Don't watch the internet.
You're not superstitious, are you?
So the button's going to move over here to seat 1.
See, so it's okay.
When he's in the big blind with that gigantic chip stack, Dave.
Who said it?
I didn't think that was
I didn't
really
say you.
nice.
No. You didn't touch them. You're not. You shared them with everyone.
Oh, there's one missing. Raise?
We got a raise here by Philly Al. He's going to raise it up with King 6 of hearts.
Actually, I think Carla's got the king.
Actually,
6
you're
hearts,
right.
Yeah.
Philly Al's got King 10.
King 10, okay.
Yeah. And we got
And he's in
5-way
somewhat
action.
late position.
Yeah, he's going to open there. Going to get 5-way action. Queen Jack 10. Well, he's got a pair and an open-ended straight draw. There are a couple clubs
Wow,
on there.
this flop has hit everybody here a little bit.
Harold's got top 2 pair. He checked it from up front. Let's see if he's going to check raise.
James has got a pair with an open-ended straight draw. Wenny has the same pair with the same open-ended straight draw. And Carla's open-ended.
Button raises here, and wow, Harold did not 3-bet. He just called.
Wow.
He just called with Queen Jack. When he's going to call with Jack 9.
See, oftentimes I like to 3-bet it on the button there, and if I want to, I can take the free card on the turn.
Well, you got a bet there, a raise by James. But I'm saying Harold from up front didn't 3-bet. He just called the 2 bets. Turns a king.
And now you can almost throw away Queen Jack and not even think about it.
Well, no one has an ace here, though.
Yeah, but how does he know that?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that Jack 9 and Jack 9, Wenny, are both there in the
Look
straight.
at this, though. Carla's going to bet with King 6, Dave.
Yeah, and she's got the fifth best hand, by the way.
James is going to raise with his pair of nines. Or excuse me, with his straight, with
yeah.
his bottom end straight to the 9.
And this is the problem with Wendy's hand. Can she even call?
Harold folded, Dave. And look at that when he folds.
Al folds.
And how can Carla call here with king 6?
Yeah,
River's a queen.
Oh, wow.
And Harold would have filled up on the river.
Yep.
You got ace. You win.
Wow. So James pretty much puts himself all in again. He makes the straight. And he's going to take it down. Some amazing stuff here, Dave.
No,
Yeah,
ace.
all in, he wins, huh? There you
I
go.
have an ace.
Big pot.
Yep.
The hand's been called.
Amazing Carla would call that with just a pair of kings.
It's like Omaha. You can't say she got a low or she got a low out there. The cards are in her hand. That's what I'm saying. Until she flips them over. I'm just saying-
Once again, bear with us. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, supposedly, with our stream. Hopefully we can fix that up for you in a minute. Button is in seat 2. Once again, we're playing 8-16 Limit Hold'em. That's right, folks. You heard it correctly. Limit Hold'em. Action is to Mike in seat 6. And looks like he's going to limp in. And Philly Al's going to raise again. He's got ace-9 offsuit. Probably one of the most aggressive players at this table. We're going to get a call here with pocket 6s. Wayne's going to call it 6s. And then Mike's going to call it pocket 3s. And it's going to go 3-handed to the flop. About a $50 pot. And all spades, ace, king, 7. Nobody has a spade here, but Al does have the ace. And Al's in really good shape, obviously. Wow, and Wendy's going to call here. And you're seeing the cards correctly, folks. She has 2 6s, and neither one. And Mike overcalls. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's amazing. And there's the 3 of clubs. I cannot believe it. And Mike has made a set, but he can't even bet it.
Are you going to stay? Oh.
I mean, it's amazing. And I imagine he's going to raise this. And you wonder, is this a pretty easy laydown for Philly Al? I mean, he does not have a spade in his hand. He can't even beat a real ace. Can't even beat ace, jack, or ace, queen. And he's drawing dead. Wow, what a bad beat that is. And there's a 7. That's going to fill up Mike here. Oh, wow. I mean, it's amazing Mike even called that flop. I mean, what is he hoping for besides the 3 of clubs, I guess, exactly? You know, you can't beat... If the 3 of spades comes out, then it's a 4 spades on the board. What are you rooting for there? Amazing. 3-handed. The pot is only $50, and he calls an $8 bet on the flop, so we're talking about, you know, maybe he's getting 6 to 1 on his money, right? And he's probably about a, let's say, 44 to 1 long shot.
Well, there's the other Allen.
Yeah.
There he is.
Why are you leaving work for?
And Allen's going to move into seat 3.
There's Nicole.
And she's had a nice massage.
Button's going to move over there to seat 6. Seat 4, excuse me.
Yeah, I did.
Sometimes you get it backwards, Dave. You know?
Yeah. Well, we're looking at the table
Right.
upside down for us, obviously.
We had a raise here.
And the raise is from seat 2. Wow, Harold raises.
10-9 of diamonds. And we're going to see a couple callers.
Harold's pretty, I thought he was pretty close to the vest, a little tight, and raising with 10-9 of diamonds. Well, mixing it up.
Maybe
a
trying to
little.
buy the button for himself.
How'd that work out for him?
Not really. And he just gives up. He checks. And I believe that Al bet and Wendy called with a flush draw. The turn's a 4. Al's going to bet again. Now, again, if Wendy were to raise here, Dave, I mean, could you think that Al could possibly call with ace-8 here?
Well, you'd imagine not, but the last hand he actually called ace-9 the whole time down, so...
River's a 10. And Wendy missed. Al checks the river. Check, check.
Yeah, and Al's going to win this. I mean, you missed the last hand for a second there. The flop was actually ace-king-7 of spades. The turn brought the 3 of clubs, and Al had ace-9 without a spade in his hand. But he called a check raise from Mike.
Yeah.
So you kind of look at that and go, well, maybe he would have called an ace-8 anyway.
Right.
You know, you don't make too much money bluffing in this game. Button is in seat 5 now.
Good old limit hold'em.
Swap line back line.
Limit Hold'em, it's a really much of a pre-flop game.
No, sorry, Bob.
Get away from your hands when you don't hit,
Yep.
and value betting.
I know, this is nice enough. Gotta go somewhere where I can make it back.
Button's gonna move over here to seat 5.
Lucky chips. I always take lucky chips. Hey.
Ace Queen here for seat 4. We got Ace King here for seat 9.
A lot of big aces out there, huh? I
We
like
got
deuces.
3 of the aces are out.
Give me ducks.
5-way action. It was raised, I believe, by Tony in
Here
seat
comes like
9.
a 6-6-9 flop. Watch.
I can play limits.
Okay, not quite. But
Jack 6-5. And pocket deuces are good right now.
that's what I said. I like pocket deuces.
Tony makes a bet here with Ace King. James calls with Ace 10. I don't know how. Wendy calls. Excuse me.
Carla's in there with
Carla
deuces.
calls with deuces. Turns a queen. Oh, there it is. Good card for Wendy. But look at this.
Yeah.
Tony continues to bet here with Ace King. He's got overcards and a gut shot. James now has a gut shot to the king. He calls. And Wendy just calls, and now Carla gets away from deuces. And the river is a 9, and Ace Queen is good.
Yeah.
Who do you normally tell?
And let's see if... Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I think Wendy wanted to bet the river.
Okay.
Yeah,
Looks
she
like
is going
Tony
to bet the
did,
river.
though.
No, Tony checked it. He
Okay.
thought that Wendy checked behind him, but Wendy bet the river.
Shut up.
Is Tony going to pay her off at Ace King?
Oh, I can't imagine with somebody in between. No.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, now James is thinking, can Ace High be good here? And he's going to pay her off.
And I got to tell you, that's why you value bet in limit hold'em.
Yeah.
Because normal people would say, oh, come on, what's somebody going to pay me off with? They're not going to pay me off with a 5, they're gonna pay me off with 6. This guy's paying her off with Ace High. This is a raised pot, okay, a raised pot 5 ways. And you think Ace High is good? Come on.
See, I told you.
Unbelievable. And just like that, she adds a little more to her stack. She's now back up to 5 stacks in a row.
Apparently it works for everybody but me today, you know?
I mean, that is just unbelievable. And again, Dave, I mean, you look at it, and another automatic thing that I know in my head, that in a raised pot pre-flop, I can make a call on the flop to a small bet, a single bet with a gut shot.
Right.
But not when it gets up to the second betting round, because now I've lost my implied odds.
definitely.
It's a big bet. You only have 4 outs, right?
Right. And you got to worry that the other person might have redraws against you as well.
Look at that. Allen's got pocket kings, and he's raised. And Carla's in there with Jackson. Carla
Ooh,
flops a full
wow.
house. And she checks it from up front. Allen's going to bet.
Another time where you don't slow play it and you make the most money if you don't slow play it.
Okay.
So Allen bets. When he calls with ace 3. Wow. Turn is a queen of diamonds, and when he's picked up a diamond draw now.
She's drawing dead, though.
Allen bets.
Now, once she calls in between, it's a clear raise here. Raise this
calls.
easy now. It's an easy raise for you. And sure enough, she
And there
does
she
raise.
is. She's going to check raise.
Yeah, this is an easy raise. And Allen calls, and Wendy calls. And if a diamond comes out here, we can see fireworks.
And the river is a queen. And now she's going to bet here again. Queen of hearts on the river.
Now, the problem here is, can Allen get away from his hand? Is there anything you can beat?
Nah, he's just going to call.
He's going to crying call, and he pretty much knows it's a crying call.
Yep.
Hey,
How about the king of diamonds there on the river?
Oh, that would have been great.
Oh, man. Again, they do cap it, and, you know, when your head's up, there is no cap.
Right.
But when it would have been 3 people in there, so.
It's interesting. I was actually playing in a 30 game a couple days ago, and I saw 2 people on the river, and the board was, I'm going to give you the board. And these guys, and I'm not even kidding, these guys went back and forth. They went about 6 bets on the turn, and then
Yeah.
9 bets on the river, okay? And the board was 8, 8, 9, Jack, deuce. Okay? So my thought, I'm sitting there going, the only thing I could think of was one of them had Jack's full, and the other guy actually had 4 8s. One guy had ace 8. That was it. And the other guy happened to have Jack 8.
Right.
but I was amazed these guys would go so far. One guy didn't even have a full house.
Yeah.
He only had trip eights. I didn't understand what they were doing.
They play it.
Three-way action here. Jack, ace, deuce with a couple hearts. It was limped around in between the blinds.
Yeah, everybody's missed this one except, well, Wendy's got a pair of deuces. And so does Carla now.
Well, James is going to call, Dave. He's got a double gutter, a 3 or... Excuse me, he just has a gut shot, a 3. And that's what I'm talking about right there. And look at this, the river's a jack, and Carla bets again. Boy, she's fearless, huh?
Oh, she just... You know what? She's got the makeup to be a successful poker player because she is aggressive and
Loose
she's
aggressive.
firing, yeah. Now, if she would just tighten up a little bit and get rid of losing hands and not call down when
Yeah.
she has an obvious loser, if she can get away from her losers a little quicker, she'd probably be one of the best players at this table.
Yep.
Monday already?
Button's going to move over there to Scene 8.
3 to 5, very clean one.
So big blind is Harold, and we got pocket aces for the first time in the small blind, Dave. Carla's going to limp in here on the button.
See a raise out of James, I hope?
Yeah.
There he is.
What do you think about limping in on the button, Dave?
I rarely do it. I'll tell you the rare cases I will do it in a second.
Well, here we go to the flop. And James is in real good shape here. Jack, Jack 3 with a couple of diamonds.
Now, some people get immediately scared by that kind of flop, but it's not a bad flop for you. Because if obviously, you should be able to find out relatively quickly if somebody has a
Wow,
jack
I
or
mean, is
not.
Carla setting up a play here on the turn?
I
mean,
imagine she is.
well, now she's picked up the backdoor straight draw.
Well, this would be a good time to raise then, huh?
No,
Nope,
and
she's
he
not
bets
calling.
and she just calls. And you know that James is probably not going to go anywhere with aces. Now the river's a 9. And James doesn't bet here, and Carla bets.
Well, she's got to try to... the interesting there is, I have no... No, okay. I was going to say, I have no problem with her trying to bluff if she missed.
Right, but there when she made something, you want to check it down in a showdown, right?
You almost hope he has ace-king or
Right.
ace-queen and you win the pot. Because if
Right.
he has anything better than a pair of 9s, he's going to call you.
Right.
There's no value to bluffing in that river.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, unless you think you're going to get paid off by ace-king or ace-queen, which you might in that case. You never know.
And the button's going to move over here to seat number 9.
You remember Stefan? Old Frenchie?
Excuse me, seat 1. I'm sorry.
Our French
Yes,
friend, Stefan?
Yes, yes.
Anyway, I was playing the $1,000 game with him on Saturday night. And I'll get to the story in a second.
Well, Philly Al is he's gonna raise here with what, King 6 suited? Wow.
It's suited. Come on, man.
And look at this, we're gonna see multi-way action here. 7 ways.
$16 times 7 players.
Yeah.
That's $112.
Yep. Here we go to the flop. Ace, Jack, Queen,
Oh,
and look at this.
wow.
Harold's got 2 pair. Mike's flopped a pair and a straight draw.
Everybody's got a little something with this,
Yeah.
don't they?
James has got a flush draw. Seat 1 is going to bet Harold. And Alan raises here with King Queen. Excuse me.
Harold's going to raise, and Harold actually raised, and Alan just called.
Yeah, but I thought that seat 1 had the button here. Oh, so it got checked around to James. He bet with the flush draw. Harold check raised, and Alan just called the 2. I see. Alan called the 2 bets.
Now, Alan does have the king of hearts.
What is Carla calling there? I guess she's got a gut shot to the jack. Two bets cold.
And that's the part of the game where she's got to get rid of. She's got to tighten that up and get rid of those cans. Those are losers.
So Harold has the best hand right now, but the turn's a 4, and now James has a flush. But Carla has the 10 of hearts. Is that going to make her stick around? Alan's got the king of hearts. He calls. He's got the nut flush draw.
Yeah, she convinces herself to, maybe I'll stay in there. She's drawing dead.
And maybe again and look at this. James is going to raise here on the button.
Well, it's an easy raise for him.
And maybe again the value of Alan's backdoor flush draw made him stay in there on the flop with the gut shot to the 10, and he just ends up chasing and chasing.
Exactly. One bad call, but gets another bad call.
Right. So here we go to the river. River's an ace, and Harold fills up.
Wow.
And he's going to bet. And I love the bet, Dave, because a lot of people will get gun shy and just check right behind you. I rarely will ever check raise on the river, Dave. There's just way too many people who will just check right behind with the
Yeah.
low flush there.
No,
You know?
you are right there.
And that's a big pot that Harold wins.
Huge
I mean,
pot.
we're talking about,
But it was 112 pre-flop.
right,
And I won
you know,
one- and I won one more.
you know, on the turn it was, what?
32 times
Two
4.
yeah, big bets. You know, that's another
128.
128. And on the flop it was about, 60 or so.
Looking at about $300 pot.
Yeah, that's a big pot for this game.
$300 pot. And if you want to put that in perspective there, those are basically it's $150 $2 chips. So that would be about a $750 pot in 2040, or about an $80 pot in 4.8. I'm sorry, I meant a $160 pot in 4.8.
How come you took off on that ball?
And we're seeing it four-way action here. And the flop is ace, jack, 8 here. A couple of players have hit aces here. Let's see if Harold gets himself in trouble. He's got kicker problems. And James is going to bet. James is, see if he can get a little revenge on Harold here. Harold's going to call. Wendy's got nothing here. I think she's going to get rid of her king 7 hearts.
And we are heads up here. Turns a 6.
And once again, Harold's still in kicker problems here. And the kicker will play here,
James
even if the
bets.
board pairs.
And Harold, he's thinking about it, Dave. He hasn't made the call yet. He's asking for time.
Wow, and he gets rid of it.
That's a great laydown.
Yeah. Wow.
We've seen him make some pretty big laydowns here so far tonight. Button's going to move over here.
So we say goodbye to Ho Ho Hold'em.
To seat 3.
Tournament ended yesterday. We had
Yeah.
our points playoff yesterday. Once again, we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars given away over the past month.
Big tournament on Saturday. It was $200 no limit with multi-rebars.
Yeah, $156,000 prize pool, over 50 grand first place. And you could have gotten in there for $200. Plus, we gave away a free poker pads.
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't get a chance to get that because you weren't in the area, check out the poker pads. You can go to liveatthebike.com and click on the poker pads and get one for yourself. Makes a great little Christmas present.
One of us is going to win. The first hand.
Button's going to move over here to seat 3. 10 deuce 7 here. It was linked around, Dave, on the flop.
Yeah, Alan's going to use his position and take it away.
There it is.
Out of king high.
Hey, yeah! That is straight drop.
Well, it's interesting, Alan, I think Alan's in line to possibly become a prop here, Dave. I think he wants to, so he needs to I guess what he was telling me is he wants to, improve his limit hold'em game. I mean, it's interesting, we've had some people come in here and, who are props, Dave, and they don't understand that usually propping here, at least at, at the bike, is mainly limit hold'em and stud high low. So someone's saying, oh, I mostly play no limit. I guess I can wing it in limit. It's not really going to make it here as a prop, right?
I mean, I would advise, if Alan were to ask me,
Yeah.
should I prop, I would say only if you really, really love limit hold'em. That's what you want to play.
Right. So it's going to get chopped down to the blinds here.
Still out of junior men? Yeah, exactly. And a white dealer. That's ridiculous.
You have a shot.
There's a good look at Al Barbieri. So I guess he was in town for the tournament, and he hasn't gone back to Philly yet, Dave.
Something different, that means I'm going to win?
Yeah. Well, he's been in town for a while now.
About 15 years.
Give or take a couple of years.
I see that.
Actually, I was getting into a conversation with him tonight about Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh,
Because there's a
man.
couple of
I would love one right
couple
now.
of restaurants here, different stores in LA that supposedly make genuine ones. And we were trying to discuss on the table with this one guy. We'll get to this after the game. We got pocket aces for Philly Al. He's going to raise in the small blind. James has got pocket 3s when he's playing a suited ace 4. And here we go, three-way action to the flop.
Oh,
when he
wow.
flops the nut flush. See how she plays it. Al bets when he just calls.
Surprise, surprise.
Turns a 7. Al bets,
and here
and
she's
now
gonna
when
raise.
he's going to raise. And again, I mean, can you throw aces away here? I mean, I know it's just so tough, Dave, but who's going to make a raise here on the turn with just a lone king? And actually, I think that Al 3-better. Excuse me, now the river's a deuce. It looked like Al, I guess Al just check called the river there.
Yeah.
The action went fast at the end. Just going to take it down there.
He
with
kind
a
of checked
flush.
blind, and she bet blind.
Yeah.
Now he had some outs in the river there. Any 7 or any ace, obviously.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why the raise on a turn is so powerful.
The last time I did that.
Oh, absolutely.
You hear Barry
Especially when
Greenstein
you're
says,
especially when you're in position too.
he says that in the more advanced games, most of his plays he really likes to raise with draws on the turn.
Well, Dave, even if you look at an uncoordinated board, and I have aces, and say the flop is, some rags, 7 deuce 3.
Right.
Okay. And the turn comes whatever card, whether it's a jack, a queen, pair of the board, and the guy raises me. A lot of times you don't even 3-bet with aces from up front on the turn with that. You know what I mean? It's just you don't know.
That's interesting. Nicole raised it up with ace queen, and I like Tony re-raised it here with ace king.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
James called 3-bets cold with queen 4 suited. Wow.
Yeah. And look at that.
Oh my! 9-4-4 on the flop.
Well, I mean, he was about even money here, wasn't he? Ace queen, ace king.
And look
he's
at this,
got
he
queen four.
raises it right away. Wow. Usually you don't see that happen. And Tony just folds. Wow.
You know, I like
takes it
the
down.
raise there because if Tony doesn't have ace king and Tony has aces or kings, you're going to get paid off the whole way.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times you might even, well, who in their right mind's going to be in there with a 4 to a 3-bet? But the way that works is, you basically, if you get 3-bet, you know the guy's got an overpair, you can now smooth call the flop and then raise on the turn. You make a ton of money.
Right.
Can I buy some
Whatever, Mike.
Button's going to move here in seat 9.
Whatever, Mike.
Money on the table play?
Why not?
I'll take half of that. I just want 100. Okay.
Raise it.
Pocket jacks here on the button. Pocket queens in seat 8.
Wow, big hands here, huh? And ace jack in the seat 1 for James.
Yeah. And look at this, though. I think the queens just called the raise, and jacks
7
just
players.
called the raise. And Filial was the raise with 9-10 suited, Dave. 7-way action times a double-sized bet. 3-5 deuce here. So a couple of people have overpairs.
Now, when he's got has the spade draw, Nicole's got a wheel draw plus top pair. Obviously, it's no good, though, in this case.
Look at this. I mean, Al bets. Carla continues to just call with the overpair, and now Tony's going to raise. These guys think that they're playing slow all the way around here.
Well, like, Carla thinks like she has, like, what, the nuts here with 2 red queens?
3 players.
Man, this is unbelievable.
And Nicole threw away ace-5, by the way.
Yeah.
I will.
Wow, that much money in the pot. I'm surprised she didn't take one more off. I got to be honest. You know what I
Turn
mean?
is a 3.
It was a raised pot,
Yeah.
7 ways, and it's 1 bet to her on the flop, and she has
Yeah.
top pair with a wheel draw, and she doesn't take one off. I mean, I think she does have odds there, doesn't she?
Yeah.
To go for trips, 2 pair or a wheel.
3 players.
Bet, call, and a call here. And here we go to the river. River is a 4, and anyone would have an ace would have a straight here.
Well, that's Nicole's ace there. She would have had, she'd have the best hand right now.
But now, look at this. Carla's still gonna bet. Wow. I mean, I gotta tell you, Tony played it pretty advanced all night. I mean, you'd think that he would have 3-bet with jacks pre-flop on the button, but queens are gonna take it down. Boy, was that hand played strange. Jeez.
And Carla takes down there with 2 pair. She had queens and 3s with a 5 kicker. You know, and rarely will I get on somebody for making a laydown. You know.
Lines, please. Thank you.
Button moves over here to
But the
seat
interesting
1.
thing there in that case where Nicole had ace-5, I just don't understand why she laid it down.
Yep.
I saw it real good.
Pocket queens against pocket jacks.
Limp, limp, limp here.
Option.
And it's limped around here. We're going to
5
see it 5 ways times $8. That's $40 pot to the flop. Flop is deuce 7-6, couple of clubs. And it's pretty much missed everybody, which is what happens more often than not, folks. And it checks around. Turn is a 3, and that's going to give Wenny there a pair of 3s. She's got 5-3 suited. But Harold's going to bet here. He's got nothing. He's got an open-ended straight draw with 8-5. And he's going to take a shot at it. And Wenny calls. Jack of Hearts changes nothing. And it's going to go check, and Wenny's going to bet with a pair of 3s. Wow.
Yes.
Takes down, obviously, Harold can't call with 8 high. Not sure if she was betting for value there or she thought she needed to bet.
6.
And while you're watching the show, if you want to, you can check out my blog, which is Under the Gun with David Tuckman. Just go to liveatthebike.com and click on Under the Gun. New posting in there. Let me know what you think about it.
7 players.
Pot's limped around here, 7-way action.
Yeah, $56 pot here.
10-7-4 here on the flop.
Yeah, a couple of players have Jack 10. And right now they both have the best hand, obviously.
Yeah.
Nobody else has much of anything. Wenny's got a gut shot. She needs an 8. Harold just got the overcards, but Alan's going to raise it up. He's check raised with Jack 10. Try to limit the field. But Wenny's going to call with 6-9. She's calling a double bet cold with her gut shot.
4 players.
It's part of, again, what you talk about, that automatic play, Dave, that you really need to know these odds in your head.
And that's a...
And look at this. James spikes a 4. He's still in there with King 4. Wow.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Let's see if he's going to pop it up here one time. Yep, there it is.
Raise it.
Now James is a little different situation. James actually called the 1 bet.
Yeah.
And then when Alan had raised it, 2 other people had called before it got back to him. And I guess he figured, well, I'm already in for 1. I'll go for 1 more.
And again here, we talk about, especially at this level, is Alan's hand good here with Jack 10? Can you safely fold here? Now, he is drawing live. He could actually catch a 10 to win here. Carler's also still in there, and the river's a 9.
Now, this is interesting. How many people are going to pay him off on the river?
Well, I mean, again, Alan can't really beat a bigger 10.
Wow. And look, and Carla overcalls.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you.
Actually, Carla just called, Dave. I think the people folded in between.
I thought Alan had called, though.
No, I don't think so. I think Alan actually folded.
He did? Okay,
Yeah.
he just had his chips out there for his fun? Okay.
But a lot of times, too, I scratch my head and I'm like, why did these guys call the turn if they're going to fold the river? You know what I mean?
What was it? He was calling for his 2 or 3 outer? I mean, it's only a 2 outer at best, and maybe a 1 outer if somebody else is a 10.
Right.
You might even be chopping the pot.
Yeah.
She really wants 7, seat 7.
Button's going to move over here to seat 3.
Yeah, pocket 4 is for Tony in seat 9. And that's the kind of hand that, I got to be honest, if I'm the first one to enter the pot, I want to raise it up. I want to limit the field, try to get position on everybody, and take it away.
3-way action here.
And he's got position on these guys.
Queen 9-6 with a couple of diamonds.
And he checked it in position when they checked to him. And now Wenny's going to bet with just a Queen 8.
Well, actually, she's got King 8.
She's got nothing.
She's got nothing, and she's going to take it down.
And that's the point of it. If you are in mid to late position, and you feel like entering a pot with a small pocket pair, and nobody else has entered it before you, raise it. Take control of the pot.
You have to raise it, Dave, because you can't let people in there. Because you will, if you're going to play a hand with pocket deuces or pocket 3s, you're basically playing the hand blind. Because there's no way, unless you hit a set, that you know pretty much that your hand is good.
Exactly.
There's no way. So you can't let people limp in, especially in position behind you, right?
No, you take it, exactly. You use your position. You raise. If Tony raises in that position, they both fold. They both, even if they call, though, they check it to him. He bets the flop, and they both fold.
Right. 3-way action here, limped around.
I mean, obviously, he even compounded his error worse by not betting the flop.
Ace, Queen, 5 here, and Nicole's got a big hand. She's got Queen 10 of hearts, and she put a bet out. She's got second pair and the flush draw. And Wendy's calling with a gut shot to the king. Turns a jack, and look at this. She makes a better, actually, she does not make a better pair. Nicole checks, and Wendy bets, and I believe Nicole calls. The river's a 5.
This is another one of those times.
Now, Nicole
is there any point in really value betting here?
No.
Yeah, I mean, why would when he bet the end there with the river, Dave? I just don't know why.
Well, you wonder. I mean, Nicole did for a second think of throwing away the queen.
Oh my God.
But that's because it's Nicole.
Oh my
I mean, there aren't a lot of other
What
people
are
that are
we
going to do
yelling?
that at this level.
Yeah.
There's just no.
Set
I don't
up.
see it.
Give me a floor
So the new player in seat 6's name is Eric.
And we're very familiar with Eric's play.
Just to be
Eric's a
okay.
pretty passive player, very straightforward.
Yeah, I know. They're just jammed up in there.
He's not going to get too much out. He's not really going to get out of line.
Chips are jammed in there. Chips are jammed in there. I need you to use your brain.
Button now is in seat 5.
What we can do about that? Maybe get a foreman over here and get a knife or something? Option. 5 players.
Limped around here 5 ways. Ace 7 deuce with a couple of clubs. 2 people have ace 4 here.
Sure. See what you can do.
And Carla's going to make a bet.
They need to go back this way. There you go.
Seat 9 is going to call. Seat 5 is going to call.
3 players.
And we got three-way action. Nicole's got the flush draw, and Tony and Carla both have weak aces. Turn is a 10. It actually
They're all
gives...
out
No, it does not give Nicole more outs.
No.
Carla's going to bet again. Now Tony just folds, Dave.
now.
And Nicole folds. Wow. I mean, that pot was limped around 5 or 6 ways on the flop. Doesn't Nicole have odds to take it off, to call it
Not
on
even
the
a
turn?
question.
I mean, usually you can chase and limit hold them.
Well, especially
know?
when you know if you hit, you're good.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't want to chase when the board is paired, maybe.
Right, right.
But if I have a queen high flush draw, why aren't I chasing? I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Really odd. You ever have this
Yeah,
dream
some of my
part
connect with the,
where you're
the
doing a
dealer, so
radio
this
show
might have that happen.
and nobody's listening?
Exactly.
Why are you asking me this?
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if I'm sleeping or I'm up. Am I awake? I'm awake, right?
Well, we hope that some people can hear us out there. The button's going to move over here to seat 6.
Actually, if you can hear us, do me a favor and just email us at liveatthebike.com and let us know you can hear us.
Okay.
Just do a little shout out to us, just so we know somebody's out there and listening to us.
King 10-8 here.
Supposedly Ray can hear us, our cameraman.
No call, sir.
But once again, email us at liveatthebike.com and let us know you can hear us.
Thank you.
So again, we are playing 8-16 limit hold'em.
And Bart obviously brings up a good point. Even if obviously if our stream is not working tonight
Right.
and nobody can hear us, obviously it'll still go to the archives and
Yeah.
it will still be continued later on
Yeah.
tomorrow and so forth. For all you limit fans out there who can't hear us.
Option.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, I gotta tell you. Did you hear what I said before the Monday night football game next Monday? Baltimore versus Green Bay?
How about the week after that, the Jets against the Patriots?
Well, at least you have one good team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We look at this Harold.
Carla here
bet
with the best hand.
overcards.
Yes. Harold with no pair, no draw, no nothing.
Turn is a 4.
And
the river
Carla's
here.
made 2 pair here. And she's going to bet it, and I can't imagine her getting called here in any spot. Both players have the nut no pair.
Yep.
And she's going to take it down.
Nut no pair, huh?
Nut no pair.
Nothing like it, right? So, Dave, you know, this is really kind of, you know, your and I are like real bread and butter as we were moving our way up through the limits, isn't it? Limit hold'em.
Limit hold'em. Yeah, well, this is where I really, first really, you know, got my teeth into the poker, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
You know, I actually learned how to play poker playing stud from my dad. But playing here, I mean, I suppose probably 70 to 80% of my poker has been limit hold'em.
Yeah.
Now, recently, I've tried to really get as much no limit as I can, but definitely could say I probably have 10 times as much experience playing limit hold'em as no limit. So I went and got this present for my nephew today. Really interesting. I ordered it online. It's like Mindware. Really a cool present, actually. It's a plane you build that has a camera in it. And I'll get to this in a second, but it's really interesting. Kind of a cool, I mean, I want one. Queen 8-5, couple of diamonds out there. Everybody's missed, as happens normally, a lot of times in no limit hold'em. I mean, in limit hold'em. But once again, in limit hold'em, it's still, you can use power of control. Power of position, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
7 on the turn. And look at that. James has made the straight.
Wow.
He had a gut shot and he called. He had 4-6 of hearts and he called.
It looks like he's going to check raise here because
Raise it.
Carla bet here. He checked it from up
Yeah,
front.
now nobody has anything, so this is probably go raise,
James
and I imagine
raises.
Carla will fold.
Yeah.
But Carla's calling a raise on the turn.
With ace 10?
Yeah, I mean,
And the river is a deuce.
I mean, it's baffling.
And she's
No
got
point
ace
going down
high.
to that. I haven't happened
Yeah, and she
today.
called a check raise on the turn, which suggests to most people, you are drawing dead, honey.
Yeah.
Get away from it. You know what I mean? That's where you got to get away from those hands.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I bought this gift for my nephew. It's really cool. It's it's a remote control plane that can go like 200 or 300 feet in the air,
Uh-huh.
but it's got a little digital camera in it, so it can take pictures.
Oh, cool.
How cool is that?
That
I
is
mean, I was
pretty
like,
cool.
I want one of those.
That is pretty cool.
So I bought that for my nephew. He wanted it, so
Yeah.
kind of it was really expensive, so it had to be a birthday and Christmas gift for him.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow. I was like, he can like send his little plane on like spy missions.
Yeah.
Take pictures of the next door neighbor's yard. I was already thinking of some perverted ways of using it.
4 players.
Four-way action here. Pocket Queens brought it in for a raise in seat 7.
Yeah,
That's Philly Al. King 9 Jack. And he's actually safe right now, Dave. He's going to bet. There's only one overcard.
I mean, this flop's missed everybody. I mean, this should go bet, fold, 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 right?
Really should.
And it does.
There you go.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
I mean, this game could be a really profitable game. The only problem, again, like we talk about, well, how much do you want to make in a game? And usually if it's one big bet per hour, it's good. Well, who can really live on $16 an hour, Dave? Plus, you got to look at the fact that the drop in the jackpot in this game is the same in our 30 game.
Yeah.
So it's much, much higher percentage, right, of a pot.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, some people will say, can you play 8-16 and be a professional poker player?
Right.
On the internet, you can.
Well,
Because you can
obviously.
play 3 or 4
You can
games.
play 3-6 or 2-4 on the internet.
Yeah, you're playing enough
Yeah.
games, of course you can.
Yeah.
But live poker, I think 8-16 is probably a little small to make a living.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the minimum is really 15-30, probably even 20-40.
And this one got chopped around to the blinds.
I remember when I first started playing poker, though, I was playing 4-8, and somebody actually claimed to be a professional in that game.
Yeah.
And just played 4-8.
Start.
And I wasn't going to dispute him. I just said, oh, okay, wow. You must
Yeah.
be really good then.
Dude, all right, what? Oh, just a small one.
The button is moved over here to seat number 6. We got a new player here. Seat 5. His name is Jared.
Jared. There you go.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the lovely Nicole.
Yep.
And it's actually Jared
Done and done.
in seat 5.
That's the jackpot up. Made him drop his chip.
And it looks like he's bought in for a lot of money there.
Yep.
Not bad, not bad.
I want to say $500. Wow.
Right, just give me a straight question.
I mean, that's what's really interesting.
5 players.
Flop of 6-5-3, a couple of spades out there. Al's got pocket kings, and he's going to bet it. Carla's going to call. She's got 10 deuce of clubs, folks. The flop is 6-5-3. She's got a gut shot to the bottom end of a straight. I mean, I don't know what she's calling with. Wow. I mean, Alan had an open ender. And Al's going to bet again, and Carla's still in there with 10 deuce of clubs. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, there's no real need to ever get tricky in a game like this. Leave your bluffing shoes at home and just bet your hands and play ABC. That's all you got to do to take this game out. And there's a 6 of clubs. That changes nothing. You'd think it's a scary card because, all these callers, somebody's got to have a 6, right? Somebody had to have top pair, but no. And Al's still good, but Al's going to bet it. Good for you. Let's see if he gets called by anybody. I don't think anybody can call here. Nobody's even got a pair. and Al takes it down.
That's a pretty big pot there again, too, Dave.
Well, it was amazing. I mean, Carla was calling him down with. Take a look at that flop. Calling him down with 10 deuce of clubs.
Yep.
Hey, Claire, you want to hammer now? Like hand right?
If she caught her 4 and she made the straight, obviously it was no good because Alan would have had an 8 high straight.
And the button's going to move over here to seat 6.
And if you can hear us, but you're having some buffering problems, please bear with us. We have our technical staff dealing with the problem right now.
Looks like Jared posted from behind there, Dave. And he's got 10-3 offsuit in the post spot.
Well, if he's the first one to enter, why not raise it up? Yeah.
Well, he was posting. And Al is called with pocket 8s, and Carla's in there with 6-7.
Yeah, Al actually raised out of the small blind with 8s.
Yeah, you're right.
And Jarrett threw his 10-3 away.
Queen, Jack, Queen. Now, there's actually a lot of material, or there's discussion about posting behind the button.
Right.
And because you're in position, if the pot is raised, and say that there are more than 3 people in the pot, can you call with any 2 cards?
I don't think so.
The extra half bet.
I don't think any 2 cards. I'm not one of the believers of the any 2 card theory.
Yeah.
I want some sort of connecting, some sort of cards that work together in some way.
I think it's almost the same kind of debate when you're talking about 2-3 chip structured in 3-6 small blind, big blind games
Right.
as well. Can you call with any 2 cards if
6
everyone's
people have
limped in?
called.
Yeah. Can you call for
yeah,
one
and
chip?
even there, I don't think so.
2
Personally.
players.
Well, I think that the odds sometimes will justify it, though. I mean, 15-1. You just got to be smart about it, obviously. 'Cause
Yeah,
like you said, mistake can beget mistake, right? You know, you can really get yourself involved.
I've just seen people, they'll call with 10 deuce, right, or 10-3. They'll flop top pair, then they'll throw a bet in there. Somebody will call them,
Yeah.
and they can it's so easy to be outplayed.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you're in late position, it's a lot better.
Yep. Now, Al raised here pre-flop with jacks. He's going to make a bet on the flop, and he takes it.
I will tell you this: if I'm on the button, and for some reason I'm posting the small blind on the button,
Yeah.
I will almost always.
Then you can almost call with anything with 2 chips.
Well, I've got
Definitely
the,
one chip.
Right, I've got the
obviously.
button now. So
Right.
if I have 10 deuce and I flop top pair,
Right.
I'll better know how to play it.
Well, that was the issue, though, with posting behind the button, because say you've got 4 people in there, well, basically you're getting about 10-1, and you are in position. So that's
Right.
why...
Right, the only difference
Yeah.
there is in the sense, it depends on what my hand is. If I
Yeah.
have like queen deuce though, and it's a raised pot, I'm scared that I'm up against a queen.
Yeah.
So then I need I'm looking
Yeah.
for like 2 pair or better really.
But you might call a deuce 3 offsuit, though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
4-5, yeah.
Right.
4-6 even.
Right.
Queen deuce, jack
3
deuce, I
players.
might throw those away.
Yeah. Now we had a raise here by seat 6, and we got a couple callers. Flop comes out 8,
Well-
7-6, and seat 8's got the nut straight there,
Yeah,
Dave.
can I be Carla for just a minute?
She's just gonna call, and everybody
and she
calls.
would get so much action here because James has got the open-ended straight draw as
Yeah.
well.
Turns a deuce.
And if a 5 comes, she's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, she'll probably raise it up here.
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is.
And that's what, I mean, at the lower levels, most players raise on the turn. They
Yeah.
show their true strength on the turn.
Yep.
While at the higher levels, some of the more savvy players will show their strength right away.
Yeah.
And look at Eric threw it away. He threw away the open-ended straight draw.
Lines, please. Thank you.
He was drawing dead to a chop,
If you want it.
and he threw it away. Just one more bet.
Yep. Button moves over here to seat 9. We've got a limp over there in seat 8, and seat 9's going to raise. Looks like he's got king-jack offsuit.
4 players.
4-way action here.
4 ways, $32 pot.
Ace 10-8.
Well, Harold's got top pair.
And let's see if he's going to check raise here, because the button has bet. No, he's just going to call.
Raise it.
Just, I mean, he's in there with ace 6. Why not show a little strength?
Turn is an 8. Look at this. Carlos got trips again, Dave, with king
Yeah.
8.
And now he bets.
Yeah. And this is the type of board that you look at it, and even if the pot was raised pre-flop, she just calls. She just calls with the king 8. And the river's a 3, and probably Harold's going to... Oh, he's going to bet here. Now, if she raises here again, Dave, you can almost throw your hand away, right?
I would imagine so. Yeah, he can't beat anything. I mean, let's be honest. What can he beat?
Yep.
Well, he's going to call anyway. Now, the interesting thing is that we thought Harold was going to check raise the flop, and that would have been a perfect opportunity to check raise the flop. But look at that board.
Yeah.
Ace 10-8. It's somewhat coordinated. 2 diamonds.
Right.
You know, there could be straight draws out there. I want to drive out those draws.
Well, the other thing, too, is if you look at Carla's hand there with king 8, now we talk about if the pot is raised pre-flop, you have odds to call to try to hit 2 pair or, say, 3 of a
Trips.
kind. But the thing is, with king 8 on that type of board, if a king comes, you still don't know where you're at,
Yeah,
right? That's
exactly.
not even the type of thing that you want to go for.
Somebody has king 10, somebody has ace king, you're in trouble. But if you raise that, if you raise the flop there, if he check raises with his ace 5, he no longer gives her the odds to go for it. We got a limped around pot here, 4 ways, $32 pot. Flop is jack 8-4, couple of clubs. And C3, Allen actually has best hand with jack 3 offsuit. And he's going to bet it. And wow, there's the queen. But Harold's no longer in there, actually. Carla is pushing with ace 8. And it's heads up here. And the river's a 9. That's not going to change anything. And Allen checks. And Carla checks right behind him with the ace 8. And Allen's going to take this down.
Indeed, again, we had some buffering problems, so if anyone wants, again, like we said, if anyone hears us now and thinks that the stream is better, shoot us an email, too, if you want, live@thebite.com.
We do appreciate it. Try to keep the show as interactive as possible.
Yeah.
Live at the Bite, keeping it real, politically incorrect.
We're going to see a new setup here. But, hopefully, Dave, that I think that we have it down. It was a little bit difficult for us the last couple weeks to get this game. But really, we'd like to make this like a weekly thing.
Yeah, limit
The
holding.
8-16.
Whether it's 8-16 or 6-12 or even
Well, we'd
once
love
in a while.
to. We'd love to get 20-40 or 30-60, but that's...
Right.
Boy, it's difficult because of the time that we start at. If we started our show like on a Saturday or Friday night at 10 p.m. Pacific time,
fighting to get on the team.
Right.
It'd be amazing.
Right, it would be great.
Friday night especially. For some reason, the Bicycle Casino is just mobbed. Friday nights, every single table in the place is filled up.
Oh yeah, it's just unbelievable.
It's like Friday night at the Bike. It's like everybody's coming down to see you on Double Fist Night.
Although I keep telling you this in the past, I got to be honest with you. I'm probably not going to play live anymore. I find it so much more profitable to play online that
Really?
even if I have a good night live, when I can make $30 to $50 more by playing online, why wouldn't I put the 3 hours in online?
Yeah, no, I understand that.
You know what I mean? King 3-8 here with a couple spades. The turn is a 9. It got checked around the flop. Clara's got a flush draw, and she's going to bet right into it here. And actually, you know what? It was Winnie that bet, Dave.
Replay.
With
Wow.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, she's got nothing.
River's a jack. Carla makes a pair now.
Yeah, but James has got the straight.
Yep.
He backed into the gut shot straight draw there, and he got it.
And it gets checked to Carla, and she's going to bet. Well, again, Dave, you can see really some of the leaks in her game. Betting, like, really marginal hands, I think.
I don't mind the bet. Just throw it away when he
Well,
raises.
exactly. You're going to be able to fold here.
Because maybe somebody calls you with an 8. Maybe somebody calls you with a 9.
And she is coming in, with definitely some inferior holdings pre-flop.
Yeah,
I mean,
without a
Jack
doubt.
5 of diamonds. I don't know if I would ever play that, except for maybe, an extra 2 or 1 chips in the small blind in a limped around pot,
It's interesting you say you love internet poker so much. I mean, I'm one of the few skeptics left, I guess, who still does not trust it on a big cash level.
Well, a big cash level, but the thing is, like, if I'm playing 5-10 games, is that a big cash level?
Right, I understand what you're
Limit
saying.
hold'em? I mean, I understand what your concern was, because I actually talked to someone that plays, say, the 30-60 stud high-low game on PokerStars. That game freaks me out, too, because, I mean, the game is just so conducive to collusion and
Yeah.
squeezing, right? Same thing with like a pot limit Omaha High, you know.
Right, and especially because I like no limit so much.
Yeah,
and I'll get
that's-
to this in a second as well.
Now we got a raise here by the button, Ace Queen.
Well, he's hit an ace.
Yeah.
Nice flop for him.
And
Everybody's got a
Carla's
little
gonna
piece.
call with bottom pair. James is gonna call with middle pair.
Replay.
Yeah.
And again, one of these times where if you're Carla with a couple spades, I don't think I would chase there with King 9, Dave. Turns 4. It's just,
And Alan's going to bet again.
yeah.
Let's see if, and she's going to call one more time. Maybe she'll get lucky. And this is one of those times where she doesn't even know if her king is good.
Right.
You know, what is Alan raised with ace king? And there's a jack, and James had called as well, and James gets there. Look at that.
Yep.
And this is one of those times if you're James, you got to put a bet in there. Ah. And Alan throws in a crying call. And he gets there. James incorrectly calls his hand a set when he actually had trips. Wow, and it's really, really interesting there.
Yeah. Button's gonna move over here to seat 4.
Makes trips on the river there, and James takes it down.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I like playing no limit a little more, and I got to tell you, I personally like the human experience of being able to read somebody's eyes and see what they have, and I lose that on the internet, I got to tell you.
5 players.
We got 5-way action. King 9-6 rainbow.
Wenny's got a top pair
Yeah.
on the button as well, so if it gets checked to her, you'll see her bet. And Carla bets with a pair of 6s.
Yep.
Really.
We've got 3-way action here going to the turn. And actually, it was Eric, Dave, that bet with ace 9.
Did he? Okay.
And Carla called. Turns a deuce.
Well, and Wenny's now got 2 pair.
Yep. And Eric leads out, and here we go. We got a raise here by Wenny. Well, she did have the best hand on the flop, but she didn't raise the flop, and now she's
Right.
going to raise with 2 pair. Well, you know, the funny thing here is that sometimes, if it's really, really multi-way, you can limp in with a hand as marginal as King Deuce suited on the button. But when the flop comes King High, you really don't even know where you're at, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she just called the flop. Maybe she's going to wait and see what happened on the turn.
And Eric
Turns a
called,
jack.
actually.
Wow.
And he checks, she bets, and he folds.
Unbelievable. And again, it's just a situation where nobody has seen, you know, really limit hold'em cash games with, you know, hole cards. And
No.
It's incredible stuff.
The stuff you're watching
It's
on
innovative.
TV. Well, without a doubt. The stuff you're watching on TV is, first of all, it's usually no limit hold'em. Second
the
of all,
rare-
it's almost always tournaments.
Well, the rare case that you ever see limit hold'em, I think the one limit hold'em, Dave, that you see is probably the Party Poker Million, because that actually is a limit tournament.
Right.
That's
But
it.
But let's be honest, even that event, you're seeing it edited, and you're seeing
absolutely.
maybe 1/100th of the hands.
Absolutely. Now, seat 6 is going to raise here out of the small blind. He's got pocket jacks.
Just a mess with him. Yeah, I was going to say 7. I realized I can't.
And here we go. We got 5-way action. 8-10 queen with a couple of diamonds. He's going to bet here with 1 overcard. Doesn't look like... Actually, you know what? James got a queen. He's got actually top and bottom, and he raises. And Eric's going to call here, Dave. Turns a 10. James gets counterfeited now. And it goes check, check. Wow. And the river's a 5.
Wow, and Eric's going to bet.
Well, I mean... But the queen is good. Queen is good. Now, obviously, James wouldn't be able to beat an overpaired there, now that once the turn paired.
Right. But I'm just surprised. You got to look at the way Eric bet that river. He can't beat a queen. He can't beat a 10, right? He can beat a flush draw, but he's not going to get called by a flush draw.
Yeah.
He can only get an 8 to call him. I guess in that case, though, James has been paying off, so.
And the button moves over here to seat 6.
I guess you can make the argument that if he checks it, he's inducing a bluff, and then he's just got to call anyway.
Yeah. I still, you know, the other thing, too, especially no limit hold'em, Dave, but, I mean, with a hand that you still think is best, why not bet the turn? I mean, if you're going to bet the turn, but you're afraid, I'm more apt to bet the turn and fold to a check raise than when I'm afraid that somebody just made trips with second pair, than checking behind the guy and just
without
calling the river, right? It just doesn't make any sense.
Now James is going to take his pocket aces three-handed here, and look at that. He flops his set of aces.
Ace 8, 9. Look at Philly Owl bet right in with the flush draw, and James just calls.
Once
Now-
again, if James would raise there, he'd get a call.
Oh, look at this. It's a spade. And he might raise now and get 3-bet by Al. We'll see. Just calls, Dave. Playing it pretty conservatively.
With the board pairs, maybe we get some
Yeah.
fireworks here. Nope.
Rivers is 3. Al bets again. And now he raises, Dave. So he thought he had the best hand the whole time. And Al's going to re-raise him.
Wow, with a 6-high straight, with a 6-high flush.
Well, what do you think the guy has that can beat you, though? King 10, King Jack? I think that the way this guy played it, you know, and he's going to re-raise again with aces.
Wow.
What?
And Philly Al's going to shut down here and get a call, I guess. And he thinks he has the nuts.
I mean, come on. Got a flush. He didn't know the spade.
Yeah, he thought he had the absolute nuts. I mean, he might have raised it 4 more times.
I mean, I guess King Jack, King 10, Dave, something like that. You know,
Well, you know
Jack
what?
10 of spades.
If I bet and he raises me on the river,
Yeah.
and then I 3-bet it and he 4-bets it and I have a 6-high flush.
Oh, you got.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm not going to go 5.
No. And actually, we actually did get some comments here, a couple of emails that say the buffering is better, sort of. Good stuff here from Sabine, thank you. And the big OHH. The sound and picture are much better.
Thank the technical staff. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. We have a huge staff, obviously. Garo and Isaac are technical geniuses,
Yeah. Pocket queens over there.
making
for
this show
C8.
possible.
And Carla, I don't know if Carla re-raised on the blind there. Ace 4-4 here with a couple diamonds. Harold's got a flush draw.
Hey, Carla likes to play her queens a little cagey.
Yeah.
Let's see if she check raises this.
Raise it.
Wow, but
Yeah.
Al's going to raise it with pocket deuces, and Carla calls, and Harold calls with a flush draw. Well, let's see if Eric calls too with 5s.
Wow.
And none of these players can beat the ace.
Turn is a 3 here.
Well, now Al and Eric both have a straight draw. Problem is they both need each other's hands.
And the river is a 5, and Al with pocket deuces in seat 7.
He makes it straight, but Eric has a full
But Eric's
house.
got a full house, and Carla bets with queens from up front. Oh,
Wow.
my. And Eric's going to raise.
And what does Al do here?
Well, I think he's at least going to call, but I don't know if you can 3-bet here. I mean, this hand played so strangely, Dave.
Yeah,
Well, look at it. You can't beat deuce 6, but who the hell would be in there with deuce 6? But more importantly, the board is paired, and I'd be worried about a full house, and he's just going to call.
and she just calls.
And Carla overcalls. How
Yeah,
do
she
you
can't even beat the
overcalls
ace.
with queens there?
Five's full.
Wow.
And I just said it. I go, wow, that 3 brings it, but you don't want your straight there.
Yep. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the show. Again, you can follow Live Thread by going on the internet and go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on Forums, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. Live the Bike thread for December 12th, 816 Limit Hold'em. You can also email us at livethebike.com. Sorry about some of the technical delays that we had. But it looks like our buffering system is better now.
We're
so,
back.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
We're playing 816 Limit Hold'em, Dave.
And once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. And you heard him correctly. We are playing... We're playing Limit Hold'em, yes.
And, ooh, look at that, Dave. We got a new player coming into seat 9.
Yeah.
2.
2. 2 players or 1 player?
Of course, we know another girl named 2 that plays on the show, but that's not the same girl. Got a raise here by seat 3.
Yeah, well, seat 6 has got queens, so this will be interesting. And he's going to re-raise it.
Well,
Pretty
seat 3
straightforward.
raised with ace queen suited, and seat 4 call with 9-3 of hearts. Wow. And 2 has got 1 ace we can see. We can't see the other card. Seat 9.
But it's a good ace. It's the ace of spades.
Yeah. And James is going to call with pocket 6's 3 bets cold. She's got ace 5 suited. She posted here.
I mean, you can't fault there. Eric tries to limit the field with his pocket queens, and
Yeah.
all he did was invite more people in.
Five-way action, 3 small bets, 15 small bets in the pot. Here we go to the flop, and he flops top set. And look at this, Allen's got ace-queen. Let's see if he gets himself in trouble.
Wow. I mean, that's a case queen. That's just a murderous flop for Allen.
Allen's going to bet right into it. Let's see how Eric plays it here.
Raise it out. Raise it. Raise it. There
He's
you go,
going to
buddy.
raise.
And this pot, by the way.
And look at this. You get 2 to call. 2 bets cold with ace-5, and James overcalls 2 bets cold with pocket sixes, Dave.
Yeah.
And you wonder why we say jam the pots, right?
Exactly. And James is like drawing dead.
Turn is a 5, and look at that. 2's got trips, and she's going to lead right out. And Eric's going to make the absolute maximum on this hand
Let's see
now.
if Allen calls in between, and he does.
And Eric can raise it up here. A big bet here with top full house. He's going to
And
raise
the
it up.
interesting thing here is, it's almost like Eric is playing it like you'd put him on pocket aces, wouldn't you?
And is 2 going to re-raise here?
It looks like it. No,
Oh,
she's
she
just,
just
gonna call.
calls. She just calls. And now Allen, it's just... Boy, Allen, you got to be up against either an overpair here, and you got to
Yeah.
know someone's got at least
There's
a
no,
5.
at least somebody's got pocket aces,
Yeah.
a minimum.
Yeah.
There's no way.
And
his
this is going to
queen's
be the biggest pot of the night here. And the river's a jack. And 2's going to bet again. And Eric can now raise again if Allen gets squeezed in between. But Allen finally folds, Dave.
Well, why did he even call the turn then?
Yeah, that's... Oh, and he's going to raise here again.
And 2 is, I guess, another call, and that'll be it. And she was drawing, and she was really bad there.
Wow.
And there you go.
What a pot, Dave. I mean, that's like $300 to $400
Oh,
in an
huge,
8-16
huge
game.
pot.
That is huge stuff. And the funny thing is, what I was wondering was, because I actually like to bet out there. I always like to bet as opposed to check racing. Now, 2, I guess what she was thinking was she wanted to keep Allen in there. So she bet the turn. Allen called, the guy raised, and she's like, well, I still think I have the best hand. I'm just going to call, squeeze the guy in the middle, and then lead on the turn. As
Yeah.
opposed to check racing. Now, if she had check race, she would have been 3-bet.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, we can bring all the fault we want to her, but
Yeah.
I think she played it the right way.
Yeah.
She just got somewhat unlucky in the sense of, you know, the case queen came out there. Because she's looking at it going, I mean, the way Eric kind of played it, you're going, well, maybe he's got aces, and maybe this
Well-
guy's got ace-queen.
No, the thing about that, though, is, again, what we talked about earlier, and again, if people didn't hear us when we were having those buffering problems, we apologize. You need to know the odds in your head, that if the pot is raised pre-flop, you can make a call if you hit any piece of the flop for 1 small bet if you think your hand is good if
Oh,
you hit 2 pair of trips. She had ace-5, Dave. She called 2 bets cold with bottom pair with her ace kicker not even knowing it good, and it wasn't good.
Right.
It wasn't good on the flop.
I mean, I'll throw something at you in a second after this hand.
Now we got 5-way action here. 7-5 deuce.
Nice flop for 2.
Well, Wendy's going to lead out here with ace-jack.
Well, and Carla's calling with
Gut
ace,
shot
yeah.
wheel.
And 2 just calls. Surprised 2 doesn't raise that up, you know?
Yep.
If you think your hand is the best, raise it. If you don't think your hand is the best, throw it away.
Turn is an 8 now. And now Harold has a pair.
Yeah,
Because 2 didn't raise there, Harold has made a pair. And now 2's going to bet with pocket sixes.
well, she's open-ended. And if she had raised, she gets Harold out, and then she wins this pot right here.
Yep. And is Wendy going to still chase with overcards there?
Well, yeah, she's got...
And Carla's still got the gut shot.
Wendy's got a pair draw.
Well, here we go to the river. The river's a deuce. And Harold's got the best hand here with 8-4. Let's see if 2 just checks that down, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the imperative. She's got to raise with pocket sixes on the flop there.
Yeah.
I mean, if she doesn't think her hand is the best one, then throw it away. But if you do think your hand is the best, then raise it up and limit the field.
Yeah.
Now, okay, back to that ace-5. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Pre-flop, there's no way she should have called. Flop, there's no way she should have called. Now on the turn, when she happened to make trips, I like her betting trips. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But no, I there's no way you or I even in the pot. Oh.
Just can't happen.
And what happened was basically, you know, she made one mistake by calling 3 bets cold with ace-5 of spades. Then she made another mistake by calling 2 bets cold on the flop with only a pair of fives.
Again, you can make that call on the flop when it's raised pre-flop and it's a big pot pre-flop, you know, with an overcard and a pair. The only problem is that it sometimes is dangerous when you make the call with the ace kicker, because if you hit your ace, you could end up losing a lot.
Yeah.
And if she hit an ace, she would have lost a lot. And obviously, she was drawing dead to the 3 queens, so it didn't matter anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the 5 was the worst card she possibly could have gotten, obviously.
Well, actually, the ace would have been a great card for the Mr. Pocket Queens in seat 6 because Alan would have had 2 higher pair. And then it just would have zoomed up.
Oh, yeah.
She would have had 2 pair. We got 5-way action, and now we're seeing some action here on the table. Jack 4 Jack here. Al's got trip jacks. He checks it from up front, Dave. Actually, it's not. That's Philly Al in seat 7 that's got trip jacks.
Yeah, he bet it.
Oh, he did? Did he
He
bet
bet it, yeah.
Okay.
He's pretty straightforward. I mean, I got to tell you, he's got it, he bets it.
I mean, what is James calling with 8-9? He's got backdoor clubs. He picks up the flush draw, and so does Wenny. And this would be a brutal beat for Al.
Yeah, it always amazes me when you look at a board like that and you go, and there's the king.
Oh, Al fills up.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's got anything. It always amazes me when you see a board like that. Jack, Jack 4, rainbow. If I have a jack, what are these people calling me with? You know?
Well, the other reason why, you know, like I said, I like to bet right out with trips on the flop, is it's because you're fast playing and you're really going to win more of a, you know, you're going to win a bigger pot than slow playing. Because if someone does have a jack, Dave, at this level, I'd say 85 to 90% of the people will check call the flop and check raise, and then you can 3-bet, as opposed to checking the flop, making no money, and then raising the turn. Again, earlier I said, somebody bets on the turn with trips and a weak kicker, you raise them, they're just going to call. So you've made 2 big bets.
Yeah.
Where you've made an extra bet on the flop and an extra big bet on the turn.
And how many
if
times
you
have
drive
we
it
seen?
through.
How many times have we seen 2 players have really big hands,
Yeah.
and they both slow play to death, where the pot's so small it's ridiculous. I mean, the best way to build a big pot is to put money in the pot.
Harold is going to raise it up here with ace jack. Wendy's got pocket 6s. She's going to make the call.
Good things.
And we're heads up. King 3-9. Harold's going to bet. Now, Wendy has the best hand here, and we've seen her, you know, peel for her set, which I guess she's doing here, Dave, the way that
Well,
she's
I mean,
playing
heads
it.
up, she might call this the whole
Oh,
way.
look at this. The turn's a 6. She's got a set. And she's going to bet right into it.
Wow.
And Harold calls with ace jack. Wow.
I mean, I tell you, I mean,
and the
sometimes
river's
we watch
king.
this, I'm just baffled. I have no explanation for it.
You know, it's funny. At this point, I hope that Harold has a king, and he's going to raise me on the river here.
Oh, without a doubt. It's the only thing I can put him on. Maybe he thinks he has the jack of hearts in his hand. Obviously, we know he doesn't, but maybe he thinks sometimes you do that. You
And
look
is he
down
going
and
to
you
make the
think,
call with ace high, which we've seen tonight from a bunch of people?
no, he's not going to make that call.
No.
And obviously, we're not going to be overly critical of these players, because most of these players are recreational players. They come down here to have a good time, good for them. You know, and instead of spending $60 or $70 on a movie and
Right.
popcorn and stuff, they come down here, they put $100 or $200 in a game, see if they can win, and they have a good time, which is great. But some of the limit hold'em stuff we're watching, it's just unexplainable.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. It's not like I'm going, well, I know what she's doing, because I have no idea sometimes when people make calls.
Well, that's why I would love. I mean, we did it back in the day, the 30 and the 20 game. But God, I'd love to get that game back on here because I'd be amazed by some of the stuff that we see.
I tell
Oh,
you, I mean,
man.
I was really amazed because I never knew. You know, when I would have top pair and I would bet in the 20 game or the 30 game, and 4 people would call me, I assumed that they all had something. You know, and
Yeah.
but then we watched it and we're like, wow, they're calling you with nothing.
Look at that, the seat 9 there, the lovely. I'll call her the lovely 2 for the rest of the show, Dave.
The lovely two.
Seat 9. She made a raise there with Jack 8 of spades, and she took it down.
Hey, I really want to thank everybody who stuck with us tonight. Obviously, we had technical difficulties tonight, and if you're watching right now, obviously you're a big Live at the Bike fan, and we really do appreciate you sticking with us. Every once in a while, obviously, our technology that we're live streaming out the show, it is new, and once in a while we get a little glitch, but obviously we've got it fixed up. Really do appreciate you sticking with us tonight.
Oh, there she is.
The lovely two. Man, I tell you, you can put up like a dating poster, like, you know,
You know, if you, it's one of the reasons. If you
white
like,
need not apply.
if you like Asian women, LA is the best place to be, Dave, in the whole country.
Man,
Absolutely amazing.
I gotta tell you, for you, this place is the best place to work.
Oh, kidding me?
Unreal. Limped around 3 ways here. Pretty small pot, only about $24. And there's all spades out there.
Yep.
And
James is going to come out and bet here with King 6. And much like,
actually, Al bet with pocket deuces.
Al bet with pocket deuces. And, well, again, much like no limit hold'em, kind of difficult for anybody to call when an ace or, you know, a king comes out there with all of one suit, right?
And a little thing from CW Siggy there. This is actually not the same two.
No, this is not the same two as the one that lost all the money
in the big game.
In No Limit Hold'em.
In the big whale game on Wednesday's whale games.
Yeah.
Button is in seat 5. Small blind is $4. Big blind is $8. Once again, we're playing 8-16 limit hold'em.
And again, from what I know, and I'll say this out loud too so some of my technical people can hear me, from that hour that we had buffering problems, I assume that you can go and watch the rerun and it will be clear. So there you go. So if you missed that hour, or obviously you can check it out in the archives when it goes up later on.
Now Carla bet here with top pair, and she's going to take this down right away.
Yeah, Queen 10.
Obviously, a new feature we've had, and it's been around for a couple of weeks now, is once our show is over, this show will continuously run over and over again until about 3 o'clock tomorrow.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Okay,
Yeah.
well there you go. And so if you missed any part of it,
Right.
or obviously if it's not convenient for you to watch it from 6 to 9,
Right.
and you want to watch it, at whatever time is convenient for you, go ahead and watch it. Obviously, it's only interactive 6 to 9 Pacific time, though.
And, again, we didn't have any trouble with the actual show. It was just the streaming, so
Right.
they're all intact.
Exactly.
So, there you go. Open limp here, Dave. Pocket 3s in seat 1. Actually, no, he limped after the under the gun limped. And actually, the under the gun did limp with pocket 3s. And seat 7 is going to raise here. Philly Al.
Yeah, he's raising it up with Jack 10 offsuit in the small blind.
Yeah, out of position. If that was suited, maybe you want to build a pot with a nice multi-way hand, Dave.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, especially if I'm in position, but in the small blind.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Now what do you do? Flop comes out. Well, there's Jack out there.
He's going to throw a bet in with top pair. Jack 7-4. Dave, I think that sometimes you can mix it up and raise out of the blinds, the big and the small blind, with hands that work very well like a queen jack suited, queen 10 suited, jack 10 suited, just to somewhat disguise yourself too.
I have no problem trying to disguise yourself. I like that. But
Yeah.
what's the value of disguising your hand in this game? James has made a flush, by the way. Deuce of hearts in the turn.
Yeah. And Al bets, and James is going to raise.
See, and I love the bet by Al, even into the flush. But when James raises, you got to know you're beaten, throw it away.
Well, does he think that maybe if the heart comes as 10 might be good? Now he's made 2 pair, and boy, if he thinks that maybe there's a possibility that James just raised him with 2 pair, he's probably going to get a check call here on the river, and he does. But the flush is good.
More often than not, a raise on a turn is the real thing. It's not a bluff, folks.
Yeah, a raise on a big bet round, like we say, on the turn, unless it's against a tricky player, and especially on the river, normally 1 pair is not going to be good.
Not good. I mean, if you had ace jack there with the ace of hearts, sure, take one off. But
Yeah.
jack 10 with 10 of hearts, what do you really want to hit?
Yeah.
Get away from it. Yeah, now, I mean, I was going to say, in this game, I just don't understand, is there really any value to disguising your play? You know what I mean?
Like in a low-level game like
Well,
this?
no, just this game particularly. You're talking about this game, like, sometimes I want to mix it up and raise with queen jacks. In a game like this, to be honest with you, there's no way I'm mixing up my game. I'm playing ABC. I'm going to play it as straightforward as possible. And if somebody picks up on it, so be it. Nobody's paying attention.
And we got 6-way action. We had a raise here. I believe. I'm not sure, Dave. I think it might have been. Was it Harold over there with pocket 8s? Well, 2's got king queen, and she's going to bet right out here.
I like the bet buyer. No need to. You can't count on the original raiser to
And
bet
actually,
it.
you know what? Actually, 2 was the raiser out of the blinds with king queen suited,
Okay.
so she's going to continue to lead. She's got top pair. She bets. Now, again, here, Harold's call with pocket 8s. I mean, if you put somebody on ace king, shouldn't you raise there with pocket 8s? The turn's a king. She's made top 2 pair. She's going to bet.
Now,
And
when-
Wendy, who's stuck around with middle pairs, picked up the flush draw now.
Yep. And she, obviously, if she catches a deuce or a jack, she's, the deuce is no good, the jack is good.
And then, again, Dave, oh, look at that. She's made the backdoor flush. And 2 is all in for 5 chips, and Wendy's going to call. And again, Dave, if you look at that board, when we talk about how one pair is rarely good on the turn, a real advanced player would raise there on the turn with jack deuce, but in this game, we haven't seen anybody do it. She's got a flush draw and a pair, right? But she didn't even do it. So you know when they raise, they really have something.
Exactly. 100%. Interesting email we got from about collusion. We're talking about that and everything, and talking about that it is out there. So if you are playing online on internet games, obviously you've got to be wary of it, because obviously whenever you talk about big money, if you give somebody the opportunity to cheat, there will always be people out there that will take advantage of it.
Well, and like you said, this game is more. Limit Hold'em, I think, is probably one of the toughest games to cheat at. That's why I think it's. I mean, you can, but especially at the low limits, Dave, it's just not worth it. Especially the limits that I play at. Say I'm playing, anywhere from 5-10 to 15-30 on 4 tables. Whereas there are games that are more conducive to cheating, like Pot Limit Omaha, like a 2,000 game on Party Poker, or Stud High Low, like that 30-60 game on Stars. Now we had a raise here by seat 7. He's got Ace King.
I mean, there are subtle
Really
things.
out.
I mean, if you're playing partners with somebody in Limit Hold'em, there is obviously, and you can probably add a couple of percentage points to your overall value. You've got to do it well.
Well, Wendy's got top pair here, 6, 7, 8, and I believe.
Well, Al's got nothing.
Did she come out and bet here, or was it a check call? Well, we'll see the turn. Turn is an ace. It's a third heart.
And that's the exact reason why if you're Al there's no point in playing. And he's raising.
But look at 2. She's got the nut flush. She picked up the nut flush draw. And did she check raise here?
And I got to tell you, with a
She
flop
thinks she's
like
all
this,
in. There it is. Yeah.
with
she
a
did
flop
short
like
buy,
this,
Dave.
there's no reason to take an overcard with Ace King. I mean, you could be drawing dead. You could be drawing. I mean,
And when he repopped him, Dave, I think.
good for her.
And the river is a 6.
Yeah, and Philly Alzen, obviously.
Well, actually, it just got checked down there at the end.
What?
I don't know.
Wow.
But 2 takes down the main pot. She did a short buy for like 10 or 20 bucks, and she's got the flush. And Wendy's going to take down the side there with aces and 8s.
Yeah, obviously it's your best 5 cards. So Philly Al there had aces and 6 with a king kicker, and Wendy had aces and 8s with a 7 kicker. Aces and 8s obviously better. 2 pair, aces and 8s, the dead man's hand. But we see it all the time, people taking one off with overcards. And there are occasions where you can do it, but you've got to be careful. A board of 6, 7, 8 with 2 hearts, do you really want to take one off with a black ace king? What are you rooting the hit for? You don't know if a heart is good, which means you're only drawing to 4 aces, 2 aces or 2 kings. And then on top of that, you don't even have the aces good.
Yeah, again, commonly, if you're going to chase with overcards, you almost sometimes would rather do it with king-queen, Dave. I might take one off as opposed to ace-king, because if you hit the ace, you just don't know.
Yeah, you got to have some sort of secondary draw, like king-queen with the king of hearts.
Right.
So it's if a heart comes out, it's something.
Yeah, you're not going to probably take one off with king-queen of spades in 3 or 4-way pot when the flop comes out 6, 7, 8 with 2 hearts.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what are you trying to hit? I just,
Right. 4-way action here, limped around. Ace 9 deuce, couple spades. James has got a flush draw. He checks it from up front.
Well, 2's got the best hand with king 9 here. Let's see if she raises it up.
No, she's just going to call. Carla came out and bet with middle pair. But again, that's a perfect place for a more advanced player, Dave, with king 9 to raise.
Definitely. Not even a question.
Turns a queen. Carla's got a flush draw now with her pair.
She's going to bet it again.
But 2 still has the best hand.
Especially since she doesn't have that many chips, why not really push it in there?
Yeah, 2 really should have raised there on the flop, get herself all in on the flop.
Well, she's got to charge James the price, the right money to go for his draw.
And now she puts herself all in for 2 additional chips. And the river is a 4, and 2's hand is good here.
Yeah,
King
she's
9.
doubles up again.
Look at this. Carla bets again here with 9-5. The problem here, though, what are you going to get called by that you're going to beat here again? Second pair, weak kicker. I just don't. I mean, I'm all for betting, value betting, Dave, but not necessarily with sub-marginal hands in position on the river, and 2 takes it down. Now, I know that 2, who's, again, Action Joe Wynn's girlfriend, they're Vietnamese. So is 2 a Vietnamese name? 2?
2?
Why am I asking you this?
I don't know. Well, my grandma's Vietnamese. I can ask her.
Your grandma's Vietnamese?
Yeah.
Vietnamese and English?
No, that's my wife's grandma's English.
Your grandma's really half Vietnamese?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's actually funny, you know what? I was actually playing poker with Barry Greenstein, and there were a couple of Vietnamese players at the table. And one of the players actually were saying, oh, Vietnamese players are the best, Vietnamese players are the best. And Barry said, well, what about me? And they go, oh, no, you're part Vietnamese.
We got a raise here by seat 5 and a 3-bet by Philly Al with ace-7 of diamonds. He was trying to, he was really trying to isolate here, but he's going to get called.
The interesting thing is that Jared has only played like 3 hands the entire night.
Look at James call 3 bets cold on the button with Jack-7 of clubs. And he's picked up a flush draw, King 4-6.
Now, that's not a bad flop for King Jack there. She's got top pair plus the... Oh, no, I thought it was a 6 of diamonds out there. I'm sorry.
Now, Al checked. Look at this. Al was the 3-better, and he check-called the flop. I guess he's trying to spike an ace here. Wow. Turns a 7. Now Al has a pair. Is he going to get himself involved? James has got the clubs now, too. And again, you probably won't see James raise here, Dave, like maybe a more advanced player might do here on the turn.
No,
because he only has 1 pair.
He raises when he has it. He doesn't.
Right. Not on the come.
No, exactly.
So here we go to the river. And the river's a club, and James makes it.
Oh, man. You know, and that's what happens. These players, they'll call with Jack. They'll call 2 bets cold with Jack-7 of clubs, and they'll hit it. And now he'll always do it.
Well, at least Al gets away from the ace-7 there on the river.
And Al's another one of those players. He's pretty aggressive, and if he would just get away from his losing hands a little quicker, he might be a winning player.
Well, but once you 3-bet the pre-flop, okay, you're going to 3-bet with ace-7. The flop comes King 4-6. You've got 4 people in there. I mean, how can you check, have the person to the left of you bet, and get 2 callers and overcall?
Right.
Ace-7 and
well, you have no pair, no draw.
No
It's
pair,
like, get
no
away
draw.
from it.
Again, if you're chasing for your ace and it comes, you have no idea if it's good or not. Especially in that case, you don't even know if your kicker's good, more or less, if you're up against 2 pair, right?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind 3-betting if you're trying to isolate it and take it away and get it heads up. But once it doesn't work, okay, get away from it.
Now, this is the first time we've seen Jared play. He's going to bring this one in with ace-jack offsuit under the gun. Seat 4, though, the blind, Winnie's got ace-queen suited.
Yeah. And I think this is going to get heads up here between her and him. And let's see if does she 3-bet it out of the blinds?
No, she's just going to call.
She's going to call. Now, he's got position. Let's see if he uses his position to take this pot. Well,
oh, look at that. An ace comes off. Wow.
You wonder if this is going to go bet, raise. And it looks like he's going to raise.
Yep. You know, against a really, really tight player like what we've seen play Jared play tight, I'm afraid I'm against ace-king, and I might just check call here the rest of the way with ace-queen, Dave.
Possibly.
I mean, how would you play it?
I don't know. Well, I see that he has an ace-jack, so I'm going to keep betting.
Right, Rivers is 6.
I want to play all my poker games from in here.
I mean, again, when you know a player, Dave, like, you know, some of the players that we play with who come in with, you know, ace-4 or any ace, well, then obviously you can drive forward with ace-queen. But when you're up against a really, really tight player who's raised under the gun and has shown strength with a board with an ace in it and you've got ace-queen, you can't really fire back all that much, can you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of ways to play that hand. I mean,
Yeah.
against a player that's pretty aggressive and it's heads up there, I might even check raise the flop.
Right.
You know, and if he 3-bets me, then I go, oh, okay.
Right.
You know, but even then, I mean, I'm really scared of giving away a free card, though. I mean, there's a chance I might even check raise, 3-bet it, and then if he 3-bets it, I'll just smooth call, and I might even fire the turn.
Right.
And if he raises the turn, well, then I know I'm dead, and I throw it away.
Now, seat 7 here has raised. Philly Alley's got, look at this, deuce-5 suited, Dave. Wow, interesting hands. He's going to get called in several spots because we can see what. And Jared's got pocket 10s in seat 5. That's the best hand right now. Now, 2 is called with a king-jack offsuit. Again, a hand that I don't really like to call against an early position raiser here.
Yeah. Well, she's hit her flop, but she's in trouble.
James has got ace-jack, best hand.
And that's one of the problems with king-jack there. You're not really sure what you want to hit.
Now, Al, who raised pre-flop, hit a piece of it, so he bets.
Now, let's see if Jared just gets away from his hand. And he does.
Oh, it's good.
3 planes.
Pretty straightforward, but
And
you know,
Al's going to call here with deuce 5. You know, this is one of those cases where you could make the call because he's got a backdoor draw. Deuce or 5 comes, his 2-pair or set could be good. But again, like you said, he's going to chase now because he's picked up another draw here on
right.
the turn.
Well, it's different than having ace 5. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Deuce 5 is if you hit 2-pair, you're probably good here. Let's see if
Look,
2
he's
can get away
gonna,
from.
is he gonna, did he check raise? No, it was extra money in there because of the side. And the river here is with 3.
Yeah, and James is good here with 2-pair.
Ace jack is good.
Side call.
And James makes a value bet on the river, but Al folds.
Yeah. And that's the exact reason why you don't want to call. Let's say you have ace 5 there. You don't even know what's good. I mean, you know if 5 hits, you're probably good, but you're not sure. And the ace obviously is no good because James had a higher ace.
Oh, is she out of there?
Why don't you give her some money? Go out there and give her $50, okay?
Thank you.
Come on, what's your hourly rate? You must make $300-400 an hour, right?
Right.
Go give her a couple of $100.
Excuse me, I need pills.
Look at that.
And she's talking to some other guy. She's cheating on you already,
I know.
Bart.
Isaac,
Yeah, I need
he
pills.
won't flip to it.
Button is on seat 4.
The button's moved over here to seat 4.
Man, I tell you. Please send in your pictures. Email us at live@thebike.com. We got to find Bart a date.
Dave, I told you, I was showing you this text from this Hooter chick that I got
Oh,
earlier
your Hooter
today.
chick. I thought you said it would fell out, though.
Well,
Hey, Wenny's got an open-ended straight draw
3-7
here.
here with a couple diamonds.
It's four-handed. Wenny's open-ended here with the backdoor spade draw. Nobody has an 8 or 7. Actually, I'm sorry, Carla's got the best hand with a 7.
Yep.
And she bets it, and it gets called by in 2 spots.
Turn is an ace.
The ace there. Look at James there. James, he called the bet on the flop with 10-4 spades.
And, and again, we wonder, like, did we have the cards up right?
Right, I mean, you look at that flop, 8-3-7. He had 10-4 spades. I mean, I don't know how to make any rhyme or reason on that one.
Well, the river's a 4, and Carla's got the best hand. But look at this. She bets again with Queen 7. And it's the 3rd diamond, but, you know, like you said, if you think your hand is good there with Queen 7, Dave, I guarantee you she's not going to fold to a raise on the river, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just...
I mean, well, it's not a surprise. We've seen Carla's stack go from, like, you know, from about $400 down to felt, back up to $300, and now almost back down to felt again.
Yeah.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen, and you are watching 816 Limit Hold'em.
Yep.
You can watch us every Monday through Friday.
And I think that we're
6 to
getting
9
word,
p.m.
Dave, that Jared there in seat 5 is a friend of a 2+ tour, or he is a 2+ tour.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, he plays like a 2+ tour. Pretty solid.
Yep. Seat 5.
Pretty solid player. He waits for good cards, gets away from his bad
Jared.
cards.
Pocket kings here for, I believe, by Carla. But somebody else raised it, and she did not 3-bet. All right, excuse me. I'm sorry. Did she bring that one in for a raise? I think she did bring that one in for a raise. Well, she's got the overpair.
Yeah, now James has got top pair, and I guarantee you he's going nowhere.
He calls.
The bigger question now, Harold and Al have absolutely nothing. Are they going to stay in?
Still playing.
Nope.
No. And this is going to go heads up here, and James is not going anywhere.
Turns a 9. She's going to bet again.
Yeah, and James is going to call.
And once again, he's not raising with 1 pair here on the turn. No
Exactly.
way. River's a queen.
And she's going to bet again, and he's going to call. If he made 2 pair or better, he would raise.
Right. And I'm not saying it's not the player's fault that they don't play that way, Dave. It's just very, very advanced. I would be shocked to see somebody playing the 8-16 that knew how to make those manipulate pots and stuff like that when the big bet rounds.
I want to be honest with you, though. Most players play it this way, though.
Right,
Even
right.
at the 20, 40, and 36 level, there are few and far between that actually raise on the turn
Right.
on the come.
Right.
we just finished our Ho-Ho Hold'em tournament, and it was a big success, actually. Hundreds of thousands of dollars given away to the winners.
9-6 deuce here on the flop.
I know last Saturday's tournament, actually, the winners were given away. I'm not the winners. Everybody who entered the tournament was actually given a poker pads. And if you didn't get the opportunity to get one, you can get one on liveathebike.com.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Carla's come out and bet here with middle pair. Actually, that was Al that bet with top pair. Carla called with middle pair. And James is in there, Dave, with ace-5. What draw? Turns to 10. Al's got a flush draw now with his top pair. And he's going to bet. Carla calls again. And now James gets rid of ace-high.
And Al's picked up
yeah, the flush draw. And look at this. The river's an 8, and Carla makes 2 pair.
and she bets it.
Well, of course. It's going to
And I think she said, I'm sorry.
Well, Al has a weak second pair here, Dave. And he's going to get rid of it. And it's
Wow. Take it down, Carla.
Well, look at that, though. It's 1 card to a straight, also the 7, and she's been sticking in with that stuff, too.
No, I mean, it's a good laydown. I'm just surprised you saw it.
Dave, I see people, like you said, sometimes even in the 20 and the 30 game, they will call the flop with any ace. No draw to try to spike an ace.
Yeah. It's... The funniest thing is that all you need is just need
Jared.
one time somebody like folds the ace on the flop, and then you see the ace come on the turn, and it'll never happen again.
But Button's over in seat 7.
Yeah, we get a new setup here. New deck of cards. We go through a lot of cards here at the Bicycle Casino. A lot of cards we go through.
Now, Dave, in a real tight game like some of the games that I see in 5-10 level on certain sites, if the game, like I said, is, say, 10-handed, I will routinely throw away ace-jack offsuit and king-queen offsuit in the first few positions. Now, in a game here when normally you don't have the full table, because at least there's usually one person sitting
Right.
out, I think that king-queen and ace-jack under the gun in the first couple positions become raising hands. What do you think?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, it all depends on the players and who's
Right.
playing and stuff. I mean, I got to be honest. At a table like this, I want to see a lot of hands in position
Yeah.
because of everybody's coming in with really, really lackluster hands.
Right.
I want to see a lot of flops in position, and if I don't hit a flop, I'm going to get away from it right away. But if I hit a flop, I'm going to punish people.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise them. I'm going to make them pay for their draws.
Yeah. Get an interesting email from a Tuomas Harkonen, and I'm probably not pronouncing that right, from Finland, Dave. Limp, have you been to Helsinki before?
I've never been there. I'm dying to go, though.
King Jack suited here for seat 3, limped around. Maybe we're going to take the pot 4 ways. We got about a little under a half an hour left in the show. 9-3 deuce 2 diamonds.
Not a bad flop for James. Let's see if he fires.
No, he's not going to bet there with pocket 6s.
Yeah, I mean, it's only one overcard and it's a 9. How do you not fire on that one?
Yeah, especially when you're second to last to act on that
Yeah.
flop.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that. Alan's going to make a position bet here with overcard.
Why not? Nobody else wants the pot. Why not you fire? The only problem with James seems to call with anything, so you're not sure if James is on a draw. James could have anything here. But Alan's got overcards.
Oh, here we go to the turn. Turns a 3.
See if James fires. No?
Well, Alan's going to keep firing now.
I'm surprised.
And James is going to keep calling.
And is Alan going to shut down on the river or no?
I would imagine that he's probably... Well, I don't know. He probably doesn't think... Well,
Yeah.
at this point, if he had ace-jack, maybe he'd check it behind him. But I guess maybe he's afraid that maybe a busted flush draw would beat him anyways.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, let's say James actually played it well. He induced a bluff the whole way around. And the thing with James is James would call with ace-5.
Right.
You know, and he might not call there.
Now, so again, we get this email here from this gentleman in Finland. Said, I've been watching the show since last week, and I'm loving it. It's especially cool that you're showing limit games. No Limit is, of course, always fun to watch, but personally, I play Limit almost exclusively, so it's really even more interesting. Also, thanks for rerunning the show during the day. The show is live 4 to 7 a.m. here in Finland, so it's not really prime time. Although, people with unhealthy lifestyles like myself watch it live too often anyway. Keep up the good work.
And like that, P.S. The stream has been near perfect since you fixed it. Well done, Garo.
Yeah. No. Oh, look at this. The 2+2 or 2+2 his friends got pocket kings in seat 5. He's going to bring it in for a raise.
Yeah, why not?
That's Jared in seat 5.
And we see 2 aces dead here. And we're going to see it 4 ways, so it's a 64-5.
And he's got top set here, king, queen, 10. A couple people have Jackson. We got someone in with ace, queen. And Jared's going to bet here with top set. Button calls.
Yeah, a board like that, you definitely want to bet it. And he does.
Yeah.
Now, he's not out of the woods yet, though. Any jack or any ace would kill his hand.
James calls with ace, queen. And it's actually not all 3 clubs. It's the king of spades there. Turn is a 6, but he's still safe.
Yeah, only an ace or a jack. Or a 9, I'm sorry, or a 9 would kill his hand here.
Everybody
Carla is
calls
open-handed.
here again. And the river's a deuce, and that's pretty safe.
Yeah. Now, is James going to pay him off all the way, you think?
Ace, queen, possibly. Carla calls with the deuce. She hit a deuce on the river, Dave.
Well, hey, this guy could have been on a flush draw.
And James overcalled with ace, queen. Well, I know if this guy Jared is a fan of the show, he's going to come back and look at this show. Carlos got jack deuce, called you all the way with a red open-ended, caught a deuce on the river, made a call, and the other guy overcalled with ace, queen.
Yeah, it's astonishing. I mean, I and she just puts her hand up like, what was I supposed to do? I hit a deuce. Wow. Wow. I mean, you start looking at that, you go, wait, this guy has only played like 3 or 4 hands the entire night. The board is king, queen, 10 with 2 clubs.
Yeah.
Think of a hand that he could have that doesn't beat the deuce.
Right.
I mean, what did he raise with? Ace 8? You know, I mean, you start thinking of hands that he might have that you can actually beat. You can't beat any pocket pair. If at ace 10 or higher, he's got you beat. I mean, what can you beat?
Limped around here.
Man.
Buttons in seat 9. 4-way action.
And I was going to say, when Carla called, I thought that was going to save James.
Yeah.
Because the pot was pretty big, so I don't mind James's call, obviously. If the guy missed clubs, then hey, you got him.
Jack 6-4 here, turns a 6, but not the overcall, though.
No, you can't overcall.
And what clubs, though? The river's a 4. Well, I mean, if he had ace jack, he had a straight already. You think he's coming in with ace 9 or ace 8?
He could have had ace 10. He could have had the same hand. He could have also had ace queen. I mean, there's some hands. I mean, I'll put it this way. If Carla folds, the pot's big enough that I'm paying off with ace queen. I don't mind that call. But when she overcall, when she calls, though, I can.
Well, you don't mind the call because he's stuck himself in there to the river, but I think you would have made yourself out of the hand before that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Obviously, I'm already talking about Z, but obviously the mistake happened at B or C.
Right. Got about a little under 20 minutes left in the show. Again, if you want to sign up for the archives, you can check it out. Just click on the archive banner in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Look at those racks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the $2 chips, Dave, a rack is $200 because a stack is 45 stacks.
She's at almost $1,200. She started the show with about $1,100, so she's up
a little bit.
Yeah,
that is a ton of money. You wonder, did she buy in for that, or did she make her way up through that?
Who knows?
Raise.
I mean, do you really like? I mean, I personally don't need that many stacks in front of me. I would probably cash in a couple. Yeah, change them up to something else.
Raise here by, I believe it was by seat 9.
I mean, I guess it looks intimidating.
Seat 9 raised here, king 9 offsuit. Seat 5's got a king jack, jack 10 here in pocket 5s. Ace 6 8 on the flop. Joel is the pre-flop raiser.
One of the last flops I want to see when I have king jack.
But look at this. Al's gonna bet here with jack 10 as a bluff.
2 players.
And Joel calls. Wow. Turn is a 9.
Well, Al's picked up a draw now.
And he's going to bet again, and Joel calls again with pocket.
Yeah, now
5.
Al needs a 7, a queen, a jack, or a 10.
And the river's a jack, and let's see if he's going to bet here again. And was Joel just trying to hit a set the entire way? Wow.
No, I think he thought Al was full of it.
And the other thing too is here, if I was Al and I played that hand that way, I don't think that I would have bet the river, Dave. I probably would have tried to check and prayed to win here.
Yeah.
Because you can easily get called by pocket kings, pocket queens. There, right?
A weak ace, even.
Yeah.
A weak ace, the guy. You can't always count on the bigger games. If somebody doesn't raise, you usually say, oh, they didn't raise, they probably don't have top pair.
Right.
But in this game, players played a little more passively, and you can't always, put somebody on it like that. And a close-up of Tony there and Al. Tony, one of our props here. Real nice guy.
No limit host.
Yep. And there's Al. Button is in seat 2. And James is going to raise it up in the cutoff seat with ace-king. And 2+2 are there. Jarrett's going to call with king-queen offsuit. Don't usually like calling, but in limit you can get away with it a little more than no limit.
He's in the big blind. He's getting a lot of
exactly.
odds here. 7, 8, 10 here on the flop.
Well, Eric's flop top pair, but Joel is open-ended.
And Eric bets right away with king 10.
And I got to tell you, this is one of those boards. If I've got king-queen or ace-king, I don't like it. I'm getting out.
James takes one off. Like you said, Joel's open-ended here with the ace-9. Turn is a 5. And, I wouldn't stop me from betting king 10. I'll bet it
definitely
again.
not. You keep betting until they tell you don't have the best hand.
Joel's going to call. And again, they will tell you, and usually it means it's better than one pair, Dave.
Exactly.
And the river here is a 6, and Joel gets the straight.
Yeah. And Eric checks it, and Joel bets. And can Eric get away from this? Yeah, he calls.
Straight.
There it is.
And
hey, Al, don't do that to me. Did you see that?
what do you do?
Hey, maybe that was for you, Dave.
What do you do? I didn't see.
He gestured something through his ear.
Oh. Gave me the finger? Man, I tell you, this is a family show. Man, those people from Philadelphia, I tell you. Tough, tough crowd.
Button's going to move over here to seat 5.
Now, I got to tell you, it's an interesting hand here, but I'm going to tell you, with king 10 there on the river, I bet. Even though it's a one-liner to straight, I bet, because I know if the guy has a 9, he's going to raise me. And if he doesn't have a 9 and he only has 2 pair, he's going to call me.
Right, so you wouldn't rather get a free showdown against 2 pair?
I'm not going to get a free showdown. He's going to bet if I check to him.
With 2 pair, you think, though, at this level?
Well, think about it. I don't know. Think about it. If I've checked it, that means I don't have the 9. Why wouldn't he bet 2 pair?
We got a raise here and a 3-bet. Raise here by Eric, and Joel, I believe, 3-bet with pocket 7s.
I'm a big believer in just betting and betting and betting until somebody tells me I don't have the best
Look at this.
hand.
Carla cold call with 6-5 offsuit. Jack 5-3. Al's got top pair.
Well, Carla's got a pair, so she's going nowhere.
Bet, call. And again, Joel's in there with that pocket pair. Can Eric get away from... No, he's not going to get away from the hand.
All those callers, and he's still in there? Wow.
Turns a 4.
Wow, and now Carla has a straight draw,
Yep.
and Joel's got a gut shot.
Al continues to bet with Jack 10, and he's going to get called, and Eric's still in there, Dave, with pocket 10s.
With all those callers. It's amazing.
And here we go to the river. The river is an ace, but that doesn't do anything for anyone. No one's got a deuce.
Al's got the best hand here.
Al checks it. Carla checks. But look at this. Joel's going to bet because he was the 3-better. I actually like this bet, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to work. Al thinks the pot's too big. He calls. And Carla, this time, she's not going to overcall with 6-5. I mean, if you 3-bet there, Dave, do you mind just the attempt there on the river with pocket 7s? I mean, I know there seems like there's so many people in there. And
That's what I mean. Al's been betting the entire way, and it's been called. And if it's heads up, and maybe you put the guy in a busted flush draw, and maybe he got like a pair. The problem is do you really think you're going to get a jack to lay it down?
Yeah.
And what can you beat? Are you going to get a pair of 3s to pay you off?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, obviously, it's real easy for us in the booth because we're seeing the cards. I don't know. I don't mind trying the bluff, but you've got to have a really good chance. I mean, it only has to work like once out of 12 or 13 times to make it pay off, though, let's be honest.
Right. Button's going to move over there to Eric in seat number 6. Now, Harold limped in there with ace-queen offsuit, Dave. Open limp. Seat 3 is actually not in there. And here we go to the flop. Jack 5-3.
Well, they're
Al's got Jack deuce, who's in
Yep.
a small blind. He's
Phillies. Best hand there.
and Carla calls with king deuce. And Harold's in there with ace queen. He's going to chase with overcards.
I mean, what is king deuce in there? I mean, I just...
Turns a 6. Now
Well,
she's picked up a straight draw. But look at this. Joel has a straight. He caught the gut shot, and he's going to raise it.
And once again, somebody raising the turn, that usually means he has it.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe Al's calling here because of the added value to the straight, but how can Jack deuce possibly be good here on the turn? I mean, is he gonna, I mean, we'll see what he does on the river, but the river's a queen. If he's going to call here on the river, I think that's one of the leaks in Al's game, and he does call, Dave. Again, we say, these at this level, and regardless of the level, most players are not going to raise on the turn with anything, better, anything less than 2-pair, right?
Yeah,
I mean, what can Jack deuce possibly beat there?
People will bet. They'll bluff. If given the opportunity, they'll bluff. If you check to them, they will bluff at this level.
Right.
Even at the higher levels, they'll bluff it because they kind of look at their hand, they go, oh, the only way I can win it is if I bet it.
Right.
But to raise it, we just don't see it that often.
Starting to get some emails and some posters about the Jack deuce call.
Oh, yeah. That was a doozy.
Yep.
Raise.
And Philly Al's going to raise it up from the button. Pocket 6s. Okay. 2 plus 2 are in there is with 8-10 of spades after a couple limpers in late mid position. So.
Now, he had limped in. He chose not to raise and take control of the pot.
Well, he wasn't the first person in the
He wasn't,
pot.
okay. And everybody's missed this. Al is still good. I'm sure he's going to bet it.
He does.
It's actually not a bad flop for him at all.
And James calls with Jack 5. Excuse me, and Joel is in there with Jack 9? Wow. Turns of 4.
And Jared obviously folds there. I mean,
if you ever want to, and Al bets again, if you ever want to take a look at value betting here, look at this. People are calling the flop with Jack 9. And James is going to call with what is, I guess, top pair there. The turns, the river's a 10. And Al bets it again.
good for him. You know what? If James had a queen,
You would
he
have
would
known.
have raised.
And that 10 doesn't really help anything, It's
I love Alice betting there. I love it.
that's a great value bet on the river.
A lot of times when people will shut down there, and you got to go, oh, wait a second. If the guy had a queen, don't you think you would have heard from him?
Yeah. Now, maybe if the turn card was an overcard to a 60s, he would have checked it down on the river when another overcard came out on the river. But,
Oh, yeah.
But not at that point, right? At the point, you
No.
almost put him on a 5, right?
Yeah, you hope he has a 5.
Right.
Now, another 5 comes out there, hey,
Yeah.
you can get away from it pretty easy.
Well.
You can get away from it pretty easy.
Button's over here in seat 8.
Raise.
Eric's going to raise here with 8-5 suited. He's played it pretty tight all night. But this time he's going to mix it up a little bit.
Mixing it up, but he's going to get called here by Ace Rag. Joel's got Ace 3. And James is in there with Queen 9. Man, any 2 cards for James, huh? I mean, in this case, he actually has
Well, he
some
was
sort
in
of
the big
connected.
blind, yeah. Queen 7-8, he's got top pair.
Yeah, and Eric's actually caught a piece of it. And he's going to bet it. Got to bet that flop.
Now, I want to see how James is going to play this. And Joel's going to call with Ace 3.
Now, Joel does have the backdoor diamond
So,
draw.
There you go. This is why I wanted to see, because this is the first time we've seen James just hit top pair. He check raises the flop, as opposed to...
Waiting till the turn.
Yeah,
And now he's going to bet it.
yeah.
And does Eric throw the hand away?
Well, again, sometimes I think you have to look at your second pair kicker here, too. If the guy check raised with an 8, you can't beat really any 8, right?
Yeah, the only
It's
thing-
just...
The only thing you can beat there is some sort of diamond draw. If you was check raising with a diamond draw.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And actually, Dave, the funny thing is that
Lights here, please.
James is actually the big winner tonight in seat 1. He's up about $400.
Yeah, well, he's hit a couple of big hands.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. He's now got over $600 in front of him.
Pocket queens here for seat 8. Carla, and she's going to raise it up.
Raise.
There you go. Raise it up in the cutoff seat. Now, this is interesting. Is James going to call here? He calls with King Deuce offsuit in the small blind.
4 players.
And Harold calls with Jack 6 offsuit.
Wow, in the big blind. And his game was pretty solid.
Yeah, big blind
It's not
playing.
any 2 cards in the big blind.
Yeah, some people think that.
Yeah.
And this could get interesting here because Eric's got top pair.
Look at this, though. Seat 1 comes out and bets with King Deuce.
I'm sorry, Eric's got trips.
9-9 deuce, and ace-9 just calls and Carla calls. Turns at 10, and James is going to bet again with the deuce. And now Eric's going to raise.
Surprise, surprise.
And can Carla get away from it?
No chance.
Yeah. And once again, what does Eric have, Dave? A single pair that he's raising with on the turn?
Probably.
Yeah.
He's probably just got a deuce.
Right.
And give James credit. He got away from his deuce there.
River's an 8.
Eric also had the ace of diamonds in his hand. Made his hand even stronger there.
And Carla's all in. And Eric's going to take it down there with the ace-9. How many? Dave, this is going to be the last hand of the night.
Wow.
So again, we apologize for that buffering trouble, but if you want to watch that hour that everyone was having difficulty with, you can take a look on the replay. The replay that we play until 4 p.m. tomorrow.
It was kind of surreal.
Or check it out in the archives.
Kind of surreal because you and I obviously we had a feeling we were webcasting to nobody.
I had confidence.
Well, I knew we'd get it back.
Yeah.
And thank you for sticking with us. Do appreciate it.
Raise here by Philly Al. Ace-6 of hearts. He's going to raise it in mid to late position there.
Now, if you're Harold here, maybe you 3-bet it with ace-queen? No.
Well, Alan's going to call with Queen-Jack of diamonds, and Harold's in there with ace-queen. Alan's drinking some champagne. Here we go to the flop.
Oh, there's the 6. He's out-flopped them both, Al.
Well, actually, Alan's got Queen-Jack, and he's going to lead
sorry.
right out. And now Al's going to raise with ace-6. Harold's
Figures
out
there.
of
Look at Harold's got the best hand. He's got them both dominated, and he gets out-flopped by both of them.
And Alan's going to pretty much put himself all in here. So he's in pretty good shape here. Needs to dodge an ace or a 6. The turn is a 9. And the river's a 10, and Alan's going to take down the last hand of the night.
Yeah, and I think Alan's had about a half of a glass of champagne, and he's clearly drunk. See, look at that. It works. All you got to do is drink to beat a poker game, huh?
Thank you. Sorry.
Well, Dave, that's going to do it for us tonight.
Yeah, very eventful night. Another great night of Limit Hold'em.
So stick around tomorrow night. We're going to be doing 3 to 5 No Limit Hold'em with Barry Woods, possibly you in the game, plus some other people that some people might know.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Some people that are fans of the show. So check it out for everyone here in the booth. And for David Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.